tonight as number 23 Georgia plays host to the number 20 Tennessee Volunteers. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried, and welcome Between the Hedges in Athens, Georgia, one of the really special places to get an opportunity to either play or broadcast a college football game. When you talk about Georgia, that obviously means Eric Zeier, the quarterback for the Bulldogs. Some say Heisman Trophy candidate, others say for sure an All-American. Mike Gottfried, to you, what makes him so special?
Eric Zeier is an accurate passer. The other thing that makes it tough is last week against South Carolina, he threw 51 passes and was not sacked. What Georgia does with Eric Zeier is put him in the shotgun 5 yards deep. Now, after he receives the snap, he'll drop back 3 more steps. It's very difficult to get to him because he is able to make decisions quick. They also like to roll him to the right and roll him to the left, so when you try to pin him down, he's moving around a lot. Very difficult to get to him. Tennessee will have to play a lot of pass defense.
For Tennessee, let's go back to last week. The 7th play of the ball game against UCLA in Pasadena. Jerry Colquitt sweeps the left, tears the ligaments in his knee. He's gone for the year. Let's go down to Mike Adamle and more on the quarterback situation for the Vols.
Ron, when Jerry went down last week, Coach Fulmer literally went to the bullpen for help, selecting a quarterback who had more saves than touchdown passes. Todd Helton, an All-America with the Volunteers, is a baseball player projected to be a top 10 pick in next June's amateur draft. His strong suit on the football field, a competitive attitude. Should he falter, Tennessee can go to a pair of heralded freshmen. Peyton Manning, son of Old Miss legend Archie Manning, or Brandon Stewart, the Southwest Prep Player of the Year from Stephenville, Texas. Should Tennessee control this game, it's a good bet you'll see all 3 quarterbacks play. Gentlemen.
So, the first home game for this senior. Eric Zeier, Georgia, Tennessee, coming up next.
It's great. They fixed up that old truck, went out for their big driving lesson. You know, they'll never forget this day as long as they live.
To fathers and sons, first-time driving lessons and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
Every picture in my store tells someone's story. I've developed thousands of pictures over the years. And each and every one is on Kodak paper, because when I see Kodak on the back, I know I'll get Kodak quality on the front. And that's important, because when all is said and done, the one thing we all have to hold on to is our memories.
Ask for Kodak paper, the sign of a great photo finisher.
Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, filled to capacity, and they're still coming down the walkway just to the southwest of the stadium, just by the thousands. The head coach is in this one, Ray Goff, former quarterback at this university. 0-3 career record against Tennessee. Oh, he would love to get this one here at home tonight. And a 2-0 start in Southeastern Conference play would be huge for him and for his Dogs. Phil Fulmer, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, 13-3-1, 3rd season. Almost an 80% winning percentage. He had to do a lot of juggling last week early on in the ball game, and then during the week, juggling as far as temperaments, personalities, not only personnel. It's been a very quick week for Tennessee and a lot of things to get accomplished. Now, the gentleman who's going to kick off, this is number 26, Craig Ford, and this is a great story. It shows that Mike, the free enterprise system as well in college football also. He has transferred from Western Georgia. He's a soccer player. One of the coaches saw him on the practice field, and they said, son, you need to walk on. He has. He's made the team, and because of his height and his distance, they had him pick it up in his ball game tonight. Here it is. Billy Williams gets to the outside, needs a block, and he's pulled down at the 27-yard line. Now for the Russell Athletics starting lineup for the Tennessee Volunteers. At quarterback, as Mike mentioned, he's a great baseball player. He's also a great athlete. Very good quarterback, and he's got to take him over and get it done. Todd Helton. The wide receivers, we just saw Billy Williams. Not 100%. He injured a shin on the opening play last week against UCLA. The offensive line, many think, is as good as there is in the country. The anchor in the middle, Big Bubba Miller. Keep it on the ground. Little man James Stewart will take it straight ahead, and he'll be stopped after a gain of a couple. Defensively, this is the way the Dogs line up. Matt Storm, what a free spirit and a very fine defensive tackle. He is out of the state of Washington. The linebackers, Randall Godfrey. This is a great place to start. Some of his teammates call him Zeus. He was a all-conference linebacker last year into the secondary. Probably the best of the defensive corps. Robert Edwards, the best athlete. This is as good a secondary as Georgia has had in a while. They go with the drop play. Maybe to Stewart again, going for short yardage, and now, Mike, it's going to be a 3rd down and about 5.
Ron, if I could draw an analogy in basketball, the tempo's the key in this game. It'd be like Pete Carrill, the Princeton coach who plays a slow-down game. That's Tennessee with the running game. They want to keep the running game. Or Kentucky in basketball with Rick Pitino. That's Georgia. Want to throw the ball all over the place and try to move the ball and move the chain. So it's a slow-tempo game of the run versus the pass.
Phillips and James Stewart, the setbacks in that I formation. It's Stewart. They'll go right side. He's not going to have the first down. As Georgia pinches the line of scrimmage, Corey Johnson comes up from his free safety position. Georgia took the football away, but the officials say no turnover, and they're looking to the far sideline, and Mike, he does not have, I don't believe, the first down at the 36-yard line.
Tennessee will ask for the measurement, and I think when you're on the road like this, it'd be a dangerous call on 4th and an inch, but we'll see how close it is. But Tennessee wants to run the football. They want to put the pressure on their offensive line, their tailback, and take it off Todd Helton.
They're going to stretch it out, and just what we had imagined, about a half-yard shot. And with that, the kicking unit will come on. That means Tom Hutton. He's a 4-year starter, and Mikey doesn't kick it particularly far, but he gets very, very good height in the ball. It's what is called a very good coverage kick.
It's a good confidence builder for Georgia. If you're Tennessee, you want to take the crowd out of this game, not allow them to stop you on 3 plays and let this crowd get riled up.
Chris McCraney, sophomore out of Moultrie, Georgia, back in a single safety for the Dogs. 10-man rush for the Bulldogs. Will they come after it? Nope, they got the return out. The left footer. Bit of a line drive. Runs away from it, takes the Tennessee bounce, and goes out of bounds. So let's check the starters at quarterback. Mr. Everything here at this university. He's been here since 2nd semester senior year. He had enough credit, he would have had and moved on to the college life. Bryce Hunter, it was not he that had the big week. It was Graham last week, but Bryce Hunter gets double attention almost every time out. And the offensive line, well, they had to do some mending here. Adam Meadows has been suffering from an injured ankle, but they need him with a very good ball game at the left tackle spot tonight. Swings it out in the flat. Terrell Davis. Oh, does he get whacked? The ball is loose, and Tennessee recovers.
Ron, a late call.
Austin made the hit. George Kidd made the recovery.
Raymond Austin, this is like a run for Georgia. Just throw the ball in the flare. A good hit. Deron Jenkins in there, number 18, number 28, Raymond Austin, and Tennessee with great field position.
Kidd with the hit, and Austin with the recovery. And Tennessee with the first big break of the night. Stewart, there's just nothing there, and Georgia is gambling, Mike. They're bringing 8 people within 2.5 of the line of scrimmage as a flag is down. To just say, Tennessee, we're going to make you throw the football.
They're going to try to take the weapons away from Tennessee. They know the offensive line, the tailback. Ron, if you're Phil Fulmer, you want Todd Helton to settle down a little bit, but he's a gamer. He's been in some big baseball games, so you know they're going to let him try to do some things offensively, but you'd like to start out a little bit and establish your running game. That makes it a little bit easier for number 2, Todd Helton.
Well, just as we will talk about throughout the evening, as Dick Burleson makes the call, he's the referee tonight. The fact that Georgia would like to take Tennessee out of this running mode, make them use some of their weapons and inexperience at quarterback, and hopefully confuse them in the secondary and force them into a turnover or two. Opening from the shotgun, and it's a handoff to Stewart. James Stewart will take it down to the 33-yard line.
Ron, Todd Helton's a third-year player, but he's been a third-team player for Tennessee behind Schuler and behind Colquitt. No spring practice. He came into this year second team, so just realize the amount of snaps he's had in practice, and without spring practice, you're talking about a rookie quarterback.
Bill Fulmer looks on as his ball club with a second down at about 14. The line to make is the 19. Steps up, drills it. It is tipped, incomplete. Mike Adamle, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, as Mike mentioned, one of the things Tennessee loves about Todd Helton, he's got that closer's mentality. He competes best when the game is in his hands, and witness what he did in an NCAA Mideast regional game against Arizona State earlier this year. An 8th-inning grand slam home run that tied the game, and the Sun Devils ultimately won the contest and went on to the College World Series. But Helton certainly made the scouts stand up and take notice. Now he'd like to trade a couple of saves for some touchdown passes here.
Pressure from behind, lobs it toward the end zone. It is caught inside the 5. Was he beyond? Yes. Mike, there was a flag down, and he has thrown the pass beyond the line of scrimmage. And Kendrick Jones is injured on the play. That's loss of down.
Again, Ron, I want to mention the inexperience of a quarterback. No spring practice, so he's had relatively very little work. See Todd Helton, now he starts to scramble. He knows he has long yardage, so he has to throw the football. He's trying to buy time. He just steps across the line of scrimmage. A great catch right here by Kendrick Jones, number 27, all for naught.
Now, the situation on the penalty, it stepped off, and, of course, it is loss of down. So this means that Tennessee is out of field goal range, and Tom Hutton out of Memphis has to come on to punt.
Well, you have to credit Marion Campbell, the defensive coordinator. And this Georgia defense, they're much maligned from last year. I mean, they really had a bad year defensively. And they're getting this crowd in the football game, Ron.
Again, McCraney is the deep man for Georgia. Very, very high. McCraney runs away from it. This is going to bound inside the 10. Tennessee is there to cover at the 1-yard line. 36 yards in the kick, and the Bulldogs take it over 36 inches beyond their goal line. We'll be right back.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
I got kind of carried away. Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding.
Come here, you little pipsqueak.
No!
Fun back.
No!
Fine.
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Who was that kid? I don't know. But sign him up.
Are your friends car guys? Car guys talk horsepower. They talk acceleration. They talk big fat tires. Now why not invite your pals over and give them something to really talk about? Introducing the four-wheel drive Passport from Honda.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by American Honda, who's been making quality automobiles in America for the past 11 years. And by Old Spice High Endurance. For long-lasting odor protection, demand-proof, get Old Spice. What you're looking at, that's a beautiful facility right over around the track stadium and the workout field for the football team. No score. Early going first quarter. 11:25 left in this first quarter. Straight ahead with the fullback.
Ron, Chris McCraney may have given up on this punt a little bit too soon as you see the Tennessee players starting downfield. You tell your punt return man to put his heels on the 10-yard line, and that you don't want him to fair catch anything inside there, but if the ball's on the 10, fair catch it. You don't want the ball to bounce inside the 5.
Mike Boyd with a pickup of a yard and a half on that last play. Not much opening for Boyd again. He will have maybe a half yard to the 3. So let's take a look at the starters on defense for Tennessee. We didn't get this a moment ago. Steve White. All of these guys are new faces, all graduates. Steve White, good game last week, but they need a big one from him again tonight. The linebacker, Ben Talley, number 90. He is the best of the linebacking core. Don't be surprised if you see him down in a three-point stance tonight. And in the secondary, Jason Parker. 24 games. He's been a starter for the Volunteers. Pressure is on. Pass is lofted and almost intercepted. Bryce Hunter is the man that he wanted. But it was Raymond Austin who cut in front and had an opportunity for the pickoff.
Ron, this is not Georgia's football game. We're going to see as this game unfolds. Georgia has to win this game passing the football. They have zero running attack. They put everything on Eric Zaire, but you can't wait till third down to throw.
Mike, look at Felix. Right ankle. A further step back, and he's got a safety, and this one is off the side of his foot, and now takes a Georgia bounce, and they get very fortunate on this, as it's going to be touchdown at the 40-yard line. Only a 33-yard kick, but fortunate also. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. More from Athens after this.
I built the entire city of Seattle on the roof of my car.
Now, my car has wings, feathers, and a beak.
A little glue, a few seeds, just add water, and voila!
It's not what you add on to our car that makes it more fun. It's what you take off. The Del Sol from Honda.
Right now, your Honda dealer is offering attractive lease rates on the Del Sol S.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Sorry.
Thursday, the Army Cadets march into North Carolina to take on the Duke Blue Devils at 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Well, we've just about played 5 minutes in this opening quarter, and again, Tennessee inside the Georgia 50-yard line. Jay Graham is the lone setback, and he'll get the carry. Big hole. Has 5, 8, and 9, and he's to the 31-yard line. Greg Bright defensively.
The advantage Tennessee has in this ball game is their offensive line. They're a veteran offensive line. Jeff Smith, number 74, big block, 6'3", 310. The junior right guard, and 6'7", 302-pound tackle Leslie Ratliff. The tailbacks and the offensive line are the keys for Tennessee tonight.
Second and short. One of the few times they've had that. Loses his footing. But Bright will make the stop as Graham makes the cut, and I think that will move the change for the Volunteers.
Ron, one of the things you'd like to do with Todd Helton is give him a nice throw here on first down, a naked play. What I mean by that is to fake the run one way, because Georgia's going to play the run, and roll him opposite. I'd like to roll him to the left because he's a left-hander, but give him some confidence builder here early.
Lindsey Schuler in the ball game at wide receiver. Again, Graham, the lone setback, gets the call. The guard in front, puts his shoulder down, but there's not much there. And Corey Johnson is the first man up from the secondary, along with Bright, to stop that play, and it'll be second down and long.
And that's my point, Ron, just what you said. Corey Johnson's a safety, so they're moving the safeties up to try to help on the running game. Georgia knows they can't hold up inside without secondary help. Corey Johnson's a safety. See how fast he's up there? You have to slow him down with play-action pass, which I'm sure Phil Fulmer and David Cutcliffe see up in the press box, too.
Stewart comes back into the lineup, number 33. Second down and just over 10 for the Vols. They set the screen out on the flat to Stewart. And that is a nice job defensively by Philip Daniels, the junior out of Donaldsville, Georgia, playing that outside linebacker spot on the left. He gets by him, there's some decent yardage downfield.
Good call, but you have to credit Georgia the way they played it. Todd Helton said one of the weaknesses that I have at the quarterback position is reading defenses. Without spring ball, you have that you don't have the luxury of learning on the field and in the blackboard.
Mike, again, as you have pointed out, Georgia using 5 and 6 defensive backs. They used 42 plays last week. Helton screams a tip, almost picked off, and Randall Godfrey had nothing but 70 yards in front of him.
The most important part of this whole game so far is the fact that Georgia's defense has been really criticized. Here's Randall Godfrey, number 42, is going to drop back and read the eyes of Todd Helton. But Tennessee's had the football inside the 50-yard line twice and has been stopped, and that was almost an interception for a touchdown, Ron.
Going to be a 44-yard attempt by John Bexford. He was 0 for 2 last week. You see the distances he missed from. Good pass. Got plenty of distance on this one, and he is good. So we'll take a break. Tennessee on the board first. 3-0. Back with more in just a moment.
Do you know where to go for an award-winning dealership? Book Chevrolet Geo Buick in Nutley. We have been honored with a Customer Service Award for Excellence and rated in the top 30 of the 600 dealers in the Northeast. Come to us for great deals on the 1994 Chevrolets and Buicks. We have a newly expanded parts department, ASE certified mechanics, and specialists in collision repairs. Expect to get more for less at Book Chevrolet Geo Buick, 66 Washington Avenue, Nutley, New Jersey.
If you own or manage commercial real estate, Homestead Roofing wants to keep your roof in working order.
Homestead Roofing has serviced North Jersey's commercial roofing needs for over 60 years. From restaurants to offices, strip malls to warehouses, Homestead Roofing will quickly repair any roofing problem. Who can afford water dripping on inventory, tenants, or customers? Avoid roofing problems before they start. Go with experience. Go with responsibility. Go with Homestead Roofing and get the job done right.
Become a football legend.
Me? A legend?
Enter ESPN's Football Legend Sweepstakes. If you win, you're on the sidelines of 4 ESPN Sunday Night NFL games. You'll join Chris Berman at ESPN's NFL Game Day Studios.
You are a legend.
Thanks, Chris.
You get $10,000 in a commercial on ESPN. And best of all, you get to bring 3 friends everywhere you go, including the Super Bowl. Yeah! ESPN's Football Legend Sweepstakes. Stay tuned for details. Sponsored by Savan, No Wrinkle Cotton Clothing.
Welcome back to Athens, Georgia. Folks, what you're looking at, that is a shot outside the stadium in the walkway. There are several thousand people out there just milling around. They can't get in because all 85,000 seats are taken. I guess they just want the electricity of the crowd and kind of walk around and get the flavor, but they sure can't see it up there. They're up there listening to Larry Munson on the radio.
They're going to see one thing this series, Eric Zier throwing the football.
Tirico. Mike?
Ron, question this week, how would Syracuse respond after the great comeback that came up a little short in our primetime game last week? After a turnover, Cincinnati's Paul Blackwood runs it in, and Cincinnati leading Syracuse 7-0. Meantime, at the Rose Bowl, SMU leads UCLA. No J.J. Stokes. He's not playing, has a bruised quad.
Well, Mike, all I can say is a double wow as far as for your first report tonight. I'm shocked at both. Ward has come into the backfield at what is called the scat back position. Lines up actually a deep tailback slot behind Zier. He gets the handoff and whoa, he gets cracked down hard. Good story on him, Mike. He's a freshman out of Rex, Georgia. He is a quarterback. But Ray Goff told his coaches, he watched him run in practice, and he said this kid has a natural ability to run the football. Until he's in a position to play quarterback, let's use him at running back. So that's what they're doing.
A good idea. He was recruited by Tennessee as a quarterback.
Deron Jenkins.
Georgia won the recruiting battle.
Deron Jenkins is the man who is down, a junior out of St. Louis, Missouri. He's been playing at left corner. He was injured coming into the game tonight. And Philip Fulmer told us yesterday in our meeting that he did not know if he was going to be ready to go. He was able to start the ball game this evening, but as you can see right now, he's being helped off. And that means that Troy Pratt, a sophomore, number 41, will come in replacing him at that left cornerback position.
Where that hurts Tennessee most, Ron, is when you go to nickel and dime backs. You lose a defensive back, that hurts your package where you try to bring in a lot of DBs against Eric Zier.
Pratt, by the way, is out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
See the average field position. Tennessee, Georgia 48, Georgia own 15. It's still 3-0 Tennessee.
Takes it to Hines Ward this time off the sideline. Got a man open at the 42-yard line. Jeff Thomas, and they went right after Troy Pratt. They saw the new face come on the field, and let's say, big fella, let's try you out here.
Well, it's a little bust in coverage there because Jeff Thomas was able to get behind him. But you talk about a well-thrown ball. Eric Zier, Greg Davis, the quarterback coach, says he has excellent vision. Sees so much after the ball snapped. Cover two, it's a two-deep coverage, and you just didn't get enough of a hit, Troy Pratt, number 41, on Jeff Thomas, number 8.
Zier, and they roll the pocket. Now he sets, throws it, and there's nobody home there. The closest man was Juan Daniels, and it's almost as if he thought he was going to either run a curl or a sideline route, and he was running it up, heading for the flag.
Well, it's interesting about Eric Zier. He was born 6 weeks premature with a respiratory disease, and he said he had a 50-50 chance to live, and he has blossomed into what I think is today's best college football quarterback. I think he's the best in college football.
He's very complete, isn't he, Mike?
He does everything well.
And to meet this young man, what a glib, outgoing, very bright young fellow. Look at shuttle pass. This is Davis. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 45. Jason Parker defensively.
See, you have to defend Eric Zier, so those type of plays are going to work. Those are like runs for Georgia. Little quick passes, little shovel draws. All that is to do is to send a signal to Tennessee, just don't rush Eric Zier.
Mike, you might explain for people who saw in last week's stats 51 passes by Georgia and saying, oh my, we've gone to the dogs literally with our offense. But passes like that are, as you say, it's like the power sweep or the power pitch.
15 of the passes last week were less than 5 yards, so you know they're quick passes like runs.
Boyd, right guard, first down on the third down carry. Leland Taylor The right defensive tackle for the Volunteers is down on the bottom.
Why I like Eric Zeier is Georgia and Ray Goff is putting all their pressure on this quarterback, number 10. If they're going to win this game tonight, he's got to win it with good defense. Now, I grant you, he's got to have a surrounding cast, but all the big plays will be made by him tonight because they are a passing team, not much running game.
3 seconds, down to 2 in the 25-second clock, but he got it away. Drills it incomplete. And that's because of a good hit by Raymond Austin. You can see Jeff Thomas just disappeared. And let's go down to Mike Adams.
Ron, it's well documented that Eric Zeier passed up a chance to be available for the NFL draft. And Ray Goff is glad he did, the former quarterback himself. Here's his thoughts on Eric Zeier.
He's a great competitor. He's got great touch on the football. He likes to throw the football. He likes to win more than anything else. And I think as a fan, I think there's a lot of things, and Coach Dooley's always said when I was a player, there's a lot of people that think they know a lot about football, even though they probably really don't, but they think they do, and that's important. And you need to understand that. But one thing all people know is when someone's giving it their all and giving it everything they've got. When you see Eric Zeier play, you never have a doubt that he's giving it everything he's got.
Mike, one of the things that should be pointed out for people who have not followed this young man's career, he had the credits and had the grades mid-semester his senior year. He left high school and came on to Georgia so he could participate in spring training, which is legal as can be, but he wanted to move on and get that head start on playing college football. Says a lot for the reputation of this young fellow.
Well, his classmates were going to the prom. He was in spring practice.
Two-step drop over the middle. Tipped and almost intercepted. Hassan Graham, the intended receiver. That was Pratt in the cover.
Can't throw it any better than that. Fourth down, and they'll put the pressure back on number 10, Eric Zeier. They're going to go for it.
Warner will come in, also Maurice Harrell. So they'll go with 2 tight ends, and also Terrell Davis, number 33. Situation, 3-0. Tennessee leads. 5:18 to play, opening quarter. And now Zeier wants to talk it over with his coaching staff. So Georgia calls a timeout. And we'll take it with him. 5:18 left, opening quarter. Back in a moment.
Boss, meet Larry. He's new.
Say, Larry, hypothetical question. How would you send a big, important shipment to a big, important client in, say, Hong Kong?
FedEx?
Right. Say someone didn't use FedEx, and that big, important shipment never got there. What would you call that someone, Larry?
Dope.
Right. Dope.
Big or small around the world, next time use FedEx.
I would have known you were the dope. I wouldn't.
If you're thinking of getting a new battery for your car, Walmart has good news for you.
Now, every new Energizer or Champion Silver Core car battery from Walmart comes with a 2-year free replacement guarantee.
That's 2 full years with free replacement.
And 1-year free replacement on every new Omega battery.
So come on into Walmart for the batteries and the prices you can always count on.
Always low prices, always Walmart.
A new chapter has begun in Merrill Lynch's history in Asia. We are the first American securities firm invited to open an office in mainland China. Being there gives our financial consultants a different perspective, which makes a difference for our clients. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
Well, Georgia is in punt formation. They decided not to go for it in a very high kick by Pellet. And it's going to come inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to be touchdown at the 9.5. 24 yards in the kick. Well, coming up, the 3rd game of our triple header today, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Look at this one, Miami at Arizona State. Miami 0-3 at Sun Devil Stadium, but all 3 of those, well, those are Fiesta Bowl losses. And Mike Gottfried, I don't think that's going to have anything to do with anything tonight. Although Arizona State, very improved football team.
I think they're going to have a shot at Miami tonight. I think it's going to be a lot closer game than everybody thinks.
change one thing. A moment ago, we thought the timeout was called by Georgia. It was, in fact, called by Tennessee. Hayden in the lineup. Gets the handoff, and he's going to be nailed by Randall Godfrey. Maybe a gain of a half yard. That's it.
Ron, I want to make a statement here right now. Larry Marmie, the defensive coordinator, we had an important stat up here before. The starting field position for Georgia so far in this ballgame has been the 15-yard line. You know he's going to complete passes, and you know he's going to do a lot of good things, but you want to make him work a long field, and you make him run out of room, and get him into the 3rd and 2 and make him punch. So that's the strategy of Tennessee. Kick them in the hole and make him work the field.
Helton rolls it, throws against the body, not going to be able to get it away. Randall Godfrey, we have him unofficially for 5 tackles already in this ballgame.
He's been active, Ron, but I saw on the tape a little bit when Todd Helton goes to the right, he has a little bit tougher time squaring his body, but he had a lot of pressure. He's a left-hander now. Now he's rolling to us, and now he's squared in pretty good shape. He can't get the pass off because Randall Godfrey, number 42, is right in his face.
Also, you can see a good job by Derek Smith of containment. 3rd down, 17 yards for the first down for Tennessee. Big opening on the left. Hayden at the 15 and caught from behind with an ankle tackle. And if Robert Edwards doesn't get him, Mike, they not only picked up the first down there, he might have been gone for over 90 yards. That's a gain of 18.
Jason Lehman, number 66, with a block that springs Aaron Hayden, second-team tailback. You see they're going to try to wear him out with tailbacks. But Ron, again, I'm saying it again, the important point is field position. You want to keep Eric Zeier on the sideline, and you want to make him work the field. You don't want to give him the ball at the midfield marker.
Good look at Matt Storm, number 98, the senior out of Edmonds, Washington. Hayden, he's the man that was fired up a moment ago, and he is again. He's going to take it for 5. Mike, just a little bit more on Matt Storm. He has his own 800 number. Now, Edmonds, Washington is a long way from way down here in the southeast. He was calling his mom when he first got here because he was a little blue being so far away from home. So he was calling his mom 2, 3, 4 times a day. She got that first bill and said, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. Somebody said, you'd be better off having an 800 number. Now even some of the students have gotten a hold of it, and he's wondered if maybe he ought to change his 800 number. Side, and is going to be tripped up. Going to be 3rd down. Matt Storm, the man we were just talking about. By the way, Matt has a shaved head. He did it last year, and he's done it again this year. Underneath that headgear, Aaron Hayden, the senior out of Detroit, has been joined by Chester Ford in the backfield for Tennessee. He's a sophomore out of Danville, Kentucky. To keep and pick it up, and he'll have it. Matt Storm outside along with Derek Bird, number 91, and Carlos Jansen. But it looks as though, yeah, Tennessee has gotten the first down.
This is what Todd Helton gives you. He was an option quarterback in high school. David Cutcliffe recruited him, so he knows he can run the option. So the option's in this week against Georgia, and a good athlete Todd Helton is able to pick up the first down, keep the sticks moving.
3-0, Tennessee leads. We're now under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Takes it to Hayden. Going to go up on top, looking for Billy Williams deep. And he's got it. Inside the 15 to the 14.
Ron, what made this play was the ball handling of Todd Helton. He throws the safeties because the safeties are so active. Corey Johnson on the run. What a great call by David Cutcliffe and Phil Fulmer, but the fake is what makes this play. Todd Helton, number 2. They're thinking run on first down. He hides the football very well, throws the ball. Billy Williams, a speed receiver, number 80 behind the safeties. Corey Johnson, Robert Edwards, big, big play, Tennessee.
53 yards officially on the play.
And that'll take care of those safeties coming up there that quick on run support.
Will it ever? Mike, this means then that Tennessee, for the third time tonight, has been in Georgia territory. They're going to run it back into the boundary. Look for the pitch, and a good thing he didn't. Phillips is out there to make the hit, and I mean Muschamp was right there. He might have even picked off the pitch had it been executed. Now it's Jerry Colquitt on the second row with the headsets on, turning to his right. Really an outstanding young man. He said during the week he didn't want people's sympathy, but a lot of people wanted to go up to him and say, hey, I'm sorry. It really shook up his football team last week when he went down with the injury.
Very popular leader.
Hayden, big opening, has 5, has 10, cut it off at 11. It is first and goal, Tennessee.
That's what that Todd Helton play with the long pass has done. It settled the Georgia defense down a little bit and bringing people up too tight. Aaron Hayden, who speaks to youngsters in the Knoxville area in his spare time on staying in school and staying out of trouble with a big gain. The offensive line of Tennessee, which is their strength, and the tailback position a strength. They're going to that strength right now against Georgia. Ron, I've been impressed with Todd Helton early.
I have too. In fact, he really has handled the situation extremely well, and as the quarter goes on. That's the end of the first quarter with our score, Tennessee 3 and Georgia nothing.
Okay, Daddy's turn to eat. Mommy said, try Crispix. It doesn't get soggy in milk. Yeah, Mommy is funny. Okay, so it starts crispy. Big deal, huh? Well, like childhood, this won't last.
Kellogg's Crispix cereal. Delicious corn and rice that stays crispy to the end.
Last bite. This should be mushy enough for you. Hey, it's still crispy. You're gonna love this stuff. Of course, you're gonna need teeth first. That means orthodontist.
Hey, Garth, why'd you get a McDonald's? Oh, man, get this. They got Tina Turner's greatest hits. Elton John's classics, Roxette's latest. Let's go to McDonald's. Yeah! Got Garth Brooks' favorites, too.
Each full-length CD is $5.99. Cassette's $3.99 when you buy any extra value meal or large sandwich. $1 from each CD and cassette benefits Ronald McDonald Children's Charities.
Mr. Brooks, would you...
Sign it? It's here.
No. Trade for Tina Turner.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
That's my only Tina.
The interior of the new Honda Accord creates an open environment. It's roomy and comfortable and available in fine leather. The reinforced body is insulated to be quieter than ever. When you consider everything the new Accord has to offer, it becomes an open and shut case. The new Accord EX from Honda.
It's up to date, in your face, and on the air. Introducing America's brightest and newest late-night stars on Last Call.
Oh, me? Hi, I'm Elvis Mitchell.
Hi, I'm Cherry McDonald.
Hello, I'm Sue Ellicott.
Hi, I'm Tad Lowe.
Hi, I'm Brian Leary. Stay up with me for Last Call, premiering September 12th. Check your local listing.
Individuals. Only one is the toughest mother of them all. Mother Gert Boyle, maker of Tough Mother Jean.
First play of the second quarter. The ball 4.5 yards away. First and goal, Tennessee. hit after a gain of 1 as Marcus Williams came up on Stewart quickly.
On the first quarter, Tennessee had the ball almost 11 minutes. And you know what that means? Not only are you wearing down the defense, but Eric Zier sits on the sideline.
You know what, Mike? This is beginning to be a trend by Georgia, though. Last week in a victory, their defense was on the field 91 plays, which is inordinately high.
Well, when you don't have a running game, you're going to have your defense on the field because you're throwing the ball a lot.
Stewart, left side, touchdown, Tennessee.
What do you like about it?
Good look at Billy Williams. It was, in fact, his play, the 53-yarder, one of the key plays in the drive. The other, that 18-yard draw by Hayden. Bexford to attempt the extra point. He's got it.
The key play in this drive, when you're talking field position, keeping Eric Zier on the other side of the 50-yard line, Todd Helton with great ball handling, hitting Billy Williams on a post behind Corey Johnson. Safeties for Georgia, play and run. Robert Edwards, number 47 on the tackle. But Ron, that changed field position and led to the score to give Tennessee a 10-0 lead.
Mike, you could see on that from that view right there, Billy Williams did a really good job of holding on to the football. It almost came loose after he caught it. So we mentioned that he was not 100%. He got the shin injury in the very first play of the UCLA game, but obviously a 90% Billy Williams is better than most.
That's exactly right. And Ron, Phil Fulmer, the first quarter went just like he planned it. 11 minutes of possession time. Defense is going to give some yardage, but Eric Zier has to work the field. First quarter, Tennessee wins it. Now again, Eric Zier, number 10, he's so dangerous and they play so wide open. He gets you back in the game quickly.
Bexford will kick it off, and man who's deep is Jerry German, senior from Richmond, Virginia. And they think that German, the coaches do, that he has been outstanding in ball practice. He'll get an opportunity from the 8. There he goes. One man, Bexford to beat, and he's pushed out of bounds. Bexford possibly saved 6.
Jerry German looked like a shot out of a cannon. Real good quickness on the return. You see the wedge form. Good move by Jerry German, number 17. John Bexford, number 10, the kicker, just trying to hold him off till somebody else comes, but he knocked him out of bounds.
That's 39 yards, Mike.
Good field position for Georgia.
This is very important. This goes back to what you were talking about. 4-12 as far as Zier time, so to speak, on the field. Fakes the run, rolls that pocket, and has it complete. Bryce Hunter. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Mr. Zier may be a Heisman candidate. Folks, if you're talking about Heisman candidates, you can't forget Steve McNair of Alcorn State. Today, 156 yards rushing, 491 passing, and 8 touchdowns. As Alcorn beats UTC, Georgia Tech, that game was 31-26 in the fourth, but the Jackets scored the last 2 TDs to win.
Mike, I know one thing. The pro scouts don't care how many votes McNair gets. They love it.
He's the real deal.
Yes, sir. What a physical specimen. Zier lines it over the middle, just over the outstretched hands of Chris McCraney.
Scott Gallion, number 93 in coverage. Georgia with excellent field position to let Eric Zier work. 4 out of 9, 49 yards early in the ball game, but so dangerous. Defensive coordinator is just concerned so much about where he throws from and the strong arm that he has.
Hines Ward, the only setback is you look at Bryce Hunter, one of 4 wide receivers for Georgia. Far side, and he get it out to Hines Ward, and he will have the Georgia first down. Scott Galen, the junior out of Seymour, the middle linebacker, tripped him up, but the Georgia Bulldogs will move the chain.
You're not going to contain Georgia all evening. You're not going to stop Eric Zier. He's going to get his yards. Here he makes makes a good choice in just throwing the ball to the running back, Hines Ward, on the last play, number 19. So, first down, Georgia.
You just joined us. Tennessee 10, Georgia nothing. But the Bulldogs are driving. There's the pitch to Ward. Then Talley will come up and make the hit on him. That play didn't look like it was going for that much, Mike, but they're going to have a second down and short, only about 2.5 yards.
And when you get defenses in the mode of trying to rush the passer all the time, you tire out those defensive linemen because they're always trying to run to where Eric Zier's at. He's 5-6 yards deep, and the running game will work. Hines Ward with a good gain again.
Double pass, Ward. Inside the 20, he's down to the 17. Scott Galen again, defensively for Tennessee.
Little shovel draw by Eric Zier. Then look at the pass rush. Look at the 4 defensive linemen working up the field. All they're conscious of is stopping Eric Zier and putting pressure on him. Linebackers have to make that play on the shovel draw.
Roy Goff paces on the sideline and his team down by 10, but inside the 20 for the first time tonight. Lobs it for the end zone. He's wide open. Touchdown, Hassan Graham. Incomplete. He dropped it.
Dropped the ball around wide open in his hands. Ben Talley in coverage. What made this play was a good fake.
Boy, Fair got turned around.
Terry Fair, a true freshman, number 13. Hassan Graham just took his eyes off of the football.
Off the face mask and off the chest. So it's second down. They set up the middle screen. Hines Ward. Tennessee with a nice job defensively, and it's going to be a third down at about 5.5 yards. Is Scott Galen, the middle linebacker, and that's like 3 tackles in a row that he has made or been in on as far as stops for the Volunteers. Junior out of Seymour, 6'2", 232 pounds.
Scott Gallion, the middle linebacker, is responsible for the fullback. He'll have him on the shovel draw. He'll have him on the middle screen.
Tennessee wants a timeout, so we'll take it with them. 10-0, Vols lead. We'll be right back.
People will remember the first time they saw an aurora. And you'll be one of the lucky ones who can say that when Aurora was ready to go, so were you. See what happens when you demand better? Aurora by Oldsmobile.
Some people are naturally faster than others. In fact, everything they do is fast. Fast, 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 fast. Now, not everyone appreciates that. But if you're looking to get a new GM car or truck financed, fast is exactly what you want.
Mac will take care of your financing.
And the folks who arrange GMAC financing and leasing are faster than just about anyone else. GMAC, the expressway home.
You forgot your sunglasses.
10-0, Tennessee leading over Georgia. Mike, what do you have?
Well, when Georgia lines up in the shotgun, you're going to find the middle linebacker, Scott Gallion, number 93. He is responsible for the single back on the shovel draw and screens. You're going to see him fight through a block of Troy Stark, number 75. An excellent play by Scott Gallion coming off that block and making the tackle on Hines Ward.
There's Scott right there. Hines Ward will be the only setback again for Georgia. 4 wide receivers. Third down on the line to make the 7.5-yard line. Dyer sings it incomplete. Hassan Graham is the man that he wanted. And now Georgia sends Hartman onto the field to attempt the field goal. And Mike, the injustice of this for that man is the fact that they've already scored a touchdown and this receiver dropped the football.
Scored a touchdown, and you can see Tennessee's game plan, Ron. They're going to sit back and play coverage. They're going to let their 4 defensive linemen try to get to Eric Dyer, but they're not going to blitz him. They're going to play heavy coverage.
Hartman, line drive, and he's good. He hit that one square away. 11:31 left until halftime, and our new score, Tennessee 10 and Georgia 3.
You ready?
Yep.
What's this? We're playing on clay.
Right back.
It's mixed doubles.
Oh.
Outdoor court.
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. Just change your clothes once. To Discus Athletic, the way America plays.
Some days should last all week. You got yourself a winning streak. Some days are like nothing else. You just gotta pinch yourself. It's not your average day, you must admit. Here's the beer that makes the perfect fit. Michelob, some days. Some days. 'Cause some days are better than others.
Next Saturday night, Tennessee hosts the Florida Gators, and Wisconsin squares off with the Colorado Buffaloes starting at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Sports writers. Ever wonder how they pick football's national champion? It's a highly scientific process. It's time to settle it on the field. Introducing college football's national championship by Sega Sports. 32 top college teams going head-to-head. No sports riders, just great football action. College football's national championship, only on Sega Genesis.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailers. And by Discus Athletic Heavyweight Sweats and Tees. Discus Athletic, the way America plays. Now, this is a beautiful stadium. As you can see, our cameraman giving you some great looks. The sun about to set here in Athens, Georgia. They have just scored on a field goal. It is 10-3. And you're looking at number 80, Billy Williams, the senior from Alcoa, Tennessee. And for those of you who know that state well, that is just outside of Knoxville. Again, it's going to be Craig Ford who will kick it off for the Georgia Bulldogs. And the ball has just fallen off the tee. Mike, I just think that's an interesting story that you always see in the movies of a kid who's on the practice field and the coach comes up and says, son, you ought to try out. Well, that's what happened. And Ray Goff said this kid kicked so well that at the first practice, the players were standing around and they were oohing and ah. He said, I'm going to kick it.
It happened to Forrest Gump.
Well, that's what they call this kid. They call him Forrest Gump. From the 5, Billy Williams. Got an opening. 40 and out of bounds at the 43. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us now?
Ron, as everyone knows, Tennessee played UCLA last week. No J.J. Stokes, as I mentioned earlier, but Wayne Cook still has Kevin Jordan. This touchdown has the Bruins up, and they're close to a field goal before halftime. In 2 weeks, UCLA plays Washington State. Chad Davis for Washington State to Albert Kennedy. 26-yard score. Looks like the Cougars, after beating Illinois, will beat Fresno tonight.
Yeah, that's the fact that the Illinois game looking even more impressive after what Illinois did today. Stewart, big opening left side, 5, has 10, 15, and he's open across the 40 and inside to the 37-yard line.
Ron, the game plan of Tennessee is to milk the clock, work the offensive line, run the football, mix some play-action passes in, keep Eric Zeier on that sideline.
It's a gain of 20 yards as you look at Eric on the sideline, and because of the length of time, your point is being made right now, Mike. He wants to get up and throw the football a little bit.
And we're starting the clock here on how long he's going to be on the sideline on this drive.
Pitch to James Stewart. Down the sideline, hurdles one man, and he is inside the 25, and they say he didn't get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to run at the 23-yard line.
Best defense round against the quarterback of Eric Zeier's stature is to just keep him right over the sideline. See, now, he's throwing passes over there, but he can't hurt Tennessee. And the guy catching him is the backup quarterback, so there's no problem there. I mean, just let him throw his passes over there. If you're Tennessee, you feel good about that.
Stewart had a gain of 20 2 plays ago, 15 on that last. So a gain of 35 on 2 snaps. See if he can do it again. He's tripped up on the line of scrimmage. Matt Storm got a handout on him. Also, you can see Marcus Williams coming over to help out. And very quickly, Randall Gottfried will get back into the ballgame, the middle linebacker for the Bulldogs.
He's been their key defensive player for Marion Campbell. Marion Campbell, the new defensive coordinator. Georgia fans were hoping that he would have the same kind of relationship with Ray Goff that Irk Russell had here with Vince Dooley, the success they had.
Pitch to Stewart. The first down behind his blocking. Gottfried makes the tackle, but it will be a Tennessee first down, and this is far and away the best looking offensive drive that the Vols have had all night.
Strength starting to show, and here again is Eric Zeier. Now he's sitting down, and our clock was stopped because the ball that changed the stop. We'll start our clock back up. Feel like a game host. Start that clock. There we go. All right.
You have a question for us? 10-3, Tennessee, and the ball's looking for more. They run it back into the boundary, and the pitch, last minute, oh my goodness. Pelton almost got killed by Corey Johnson, or almost got his running back killed because he waited until the last moment on the pitch.
I've been really impressed with Corey Johnson now. He was in coverage on that pass with Billy Williams, got the deep throw, and he may have been helped coverage on that, but he has really been active in the running game. Free safety, Corey Johnson. Look at the tackle, number 27. He's only 5'11", 183, a sophomore.
Stewart now 11 carries, 72 yards. He has 53 on this drive. Play action. Rolls it under pressure, and Helton will just go out of bounds, and he got punished. Travis Jones, the first man there. And then you could see Greg Bright, 45.
Marion Campbell said that Travis Jones is our leader on defense. He came in here as a linebacker, sat out last year, did not play.
Had a kidney disorder, right? Didn't play.
So number 51, Travis Jones against Todd Helton, making a tackle and getting a little help there. Greg Bright, number 45, and the clock's still running on Eric Zeier on the sideline.
Here's the situation. It is third down, Tennessee. The ball at the Georgia 6-yard line. 10-3, Volunteers lead. Draw play, Stewart right at the middle at the 1, touchdown, Tennessee.
The offensive line of Tennessee is just manhandling Georgia's defensive line, winning at the point of attack.
Like we talked off the top of the telecast about Miller, Mays, Smith, Lehman, and Ratliff, that a lot of people thought they were at least one of the 5 best offensive lines in the country. And tonight they're showing that they really get off the football well.
Well, Phil Fulmer's a former offensive line coach, and Steve Marshall, now the offensive line coach. Two fine teachers.
Thanks for it. The senior from Chattanooga knocks it home and will hold it right here. 8:55 until halftime, and it's 17-3, Tennessee.
The offensive line of Tennessee just on a draw play. There's Phil Fulmer. Don't know what point he's trying to make there, but has to feel good at this point, 17-3, but you're never safe. The quarterback of Eric Zeier.
Well, the Volunteers shaken up, and we cannot get that number.
The draw play that we were Looking after the touchdown. Good block. Bubba Miller, number 71, really with a nice block. James Stewart just reading the draw play. Georgia thinking pass. Linebackers blocked, and there's the offensive line.
This is the cover of this year's media guide. The 5 starters on that offensive front. I enjoy seeing that kind of thing. Why? Because normally these guys don't get a lot of credit. I mean, offensive linemen just don't. I mean, they're the big grunts down in the holes, and they do it, but the other guys go and dance in the end zone. But it's these fellas that make it work, and I'm glad to see that they get that kind of credit. Mays is the man who's shaken up. Kevin is the only senior on that offensive line, 6'4", 284, out of Kingston. And you can see Jeff Smith standing there, 74, along with Leslie Ratliff, and they are looking on anxiously as one of their cohorts being helped off the field. And let's check again with Mike Tirico. Mike?
All right, let's check out what's happening with South Carolina. Of course, you know, last week they happened to run into the Bulldogs of Georgia. Stanley Pritchett here for the Gamecocks. Gets in from a couple of yards out. They're approaching halftime at home. Carolina by 7.
Impressive start for the Gamecocks, 7-0. Our score, 17-3. Tennessee has dominated in this first half of play, and right now we see 8:55 until halftime. Zier on the sideline, looking up at the stadium clock. But the thing about this Georgia offense is it is a strike-quick offense.
Tennessee, I believe you win the football game running and stopping the run. Tennessee is averaging 5.4 yards a carry.
Jerry German. This time he runs into traffic as he crosses the 20-yard line. Well, now it's our Sega student of the game time. And for Tennessee, senior offensive guard Kevin Mays. He's majoring in marketing education and has a 3.2 GPA. And for Georgia, senior defensive tackle Travis Jones. He's majoring in economics and has a 2.5 grade point average. Sega congratulates these 2 fine student athletes.
Time on the field, Eric Zier, 6:52, 14-13 off the field, and that's what Tennessee wants to do.
To the run, Terrell Davis back into the short side of the field, and they'll say he steps out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Pickup of about 8 on the play as Terry Fair, freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona, was there to push him out.
9 yards. That's 23 yards and 7 carries for Georgia rushing, where Tennessee has 129 yards in 24 carries.
Double pass. Davis is hit at the line of scrimmage, and what a nice defensive job by Billy Barron. Freshman out of River Ridge, Louisiana. Well, I mean, as soon as the short pass was thrown to him, he was all over it.
He's the second-team defensive lineman, and Larry Marmie is alternating defensive lines to try to keep his players fresh. As you see, Billy Barron makes a big play, goes to the sideline, but so much shotgun, they're chasing the quarterback, and they get a tendency to get tired.
Like I mentioned that all 4 starters graduated for Tennessee. That takes away 22 sacks that those guys had last season. Zier, pressure on him, and almost complete to McCraney. Incomplete. And another example of Zier in the ball. You thought a chance for Tennessee to intercept, but just beyond the defender's hand.
I want to keep hitting the point, though. He's back on the sideline again. I mean, there he is, 3 and out. And you can't, Georgia needs him on the field, but that's because they're not a running football team, but that's by design. I mean, they really have a young offensive line.
But Pella gets the kick away off the side of his foot again. He's kicked 2, and both have gone off the side of his foot. Out of bounds at midfield, and the crowd is not happy about that as Zier talks on the phone upstairs. Let's take a break.
For Fairway customers talk about conversion vans.
I love it. It's the best investment I ever made, buying this conversion van.
I sat in it for about 20 seconds, and I told my husband, let's get it. It's like a portable family room.
Fairway gave me a very good price on this van, and I love it.
The payments were very affordable, and we were very happy with Fairway Dodge.
Service department Fairway Dodge is terrific. They treat you like a human being.
Thank you, Fairway Dodge.
We love the conversion van. Thank you, Fairway Dodge.
Seeing is believing, and at Home Supply and Lumber Center, we want you to see our new Home Center showroom. Feast your eyes on our windows, doors, decorative moldings, kitchen and bath display area. You'll be able to envision your home with the latest and new innovative products available at Home Supply. Your ideas become reality right in front of your eyes with the help of our design professionals. Come see our new showroom and let Home Supply and Lumber Center in Hawthorne give your home the look or second look it deserves.
There's no timeout, and there's no rest.
You're in control of a beast, if you will. You know, that's what a race car is.
You're driving at 230 miles per hour. The wind is hitting the top of your helmet, and you cannot control your head movement. Everyone dreams about running over 200 miles per hour. Everybody.
That's where we derive the ultimate satisfaction.
A good look at the moon over Athens tonight, but actually the Georgia offense would like to see something a little brighter because it's simply nothing's been shining for them tonight. Had an opportunity and dropped the touchdown pass. They got a field goal out of that possession. And on the running play, nice job by Cochran as he will make the stop. Let's go to Mike Adams.
You know, Ron and Mike, one writer called it Mississippi's greatest loss since the Civil War. I don't know about that, but Peyton Manning has officially been a Tennessee Volunteer for several months now. You don't need to know any introductions about Archie Manning. And Archie, how difficult, given your love and affection for your alma mater, was this decision on the part of your family? And
well, it was kind of a tough thing, but Peyton had a great recruiting experience, and he looked at everything Mike did, what he thought was best. I love Ole Miss. He does too, but he thought he should go somewhere else.
And it would have indeed been a difficult situation, no matter how great he would have turned out, to go there and follow in your footsteps.
Well, I think it's tough any time that happens in a sibling situation. And Peyton, you know, he's been around Ole Miss. He looked through that, and he thought that was going to be the case. And so then he decided he's going to make a decision to go somewhere else.
It hasn't been too tough for him to follow in your footsteps. Apparently, you've given him a lot of good advice, you and your wife.
Well, you know, I'm not a football coach, and I try to be a good father, and that's really all I want to be. Peyton's been a delightful child. He's loved football, but he's got some other things in his life. Obviously, we're proud of him, and he's real happy. And I think that's all any parent wants for their children is happiness.
Bottom line. Archie, great to see you.
Good to see you, Mike.
Mike Adamle, thanks so much. Archie, thanks to you, the redhead from Drew. Boy, what a great one, Mike. And the interesting thing is Peyton is a bigger youngster than Archie was by the time he graduated. He's already 6'5" and close to 210.
He's an impressive man, Archie Manning. Met him on several occasions. I know you know him very well, but I enjoy listening to him on New Orleans Saints games.
Yeah. Hayden with a good series going, right up the middle, breaks it for the first down, inside the 25 to the 24, and Mr. Tirico, you are a busy man tonight.
Sure are, Ron. You mentioned last week the stable of tailbacks that Syracuse has. Here's one of them, Malcolm Thomas, up the middle. Bounces off defenders, 18 yards into the end zone after falling down 10. Syracuse now within 3 on Cincy. Doesn't seem every year the MAC gives a Big Ten team some trouble. Look at Toledo leading Purdue by 10.
Boy.
It doesn't surprise me. The Mid-American's a good conference.
They really are, aren't they, Mike?
Bowling Green pushed North Carolina State. Ball State pushed West Virginia.
Jay Graham, the ball carrier. And Tennessee not only has been alternating people on defense and in and out with offensive linemen, but we've seen Graham several times tonight in key situations. He's been very impressive, and he's only a sophomore.
Coaches tell me that he really is exciting tailback. Jay Graham, young player, and Stewart coming back on the field for him. But there's so much depth at the tailback and the quarterback position, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. He's got a log jam.
You've got to have a lot of footballs if you got that much talent. Play action. Helton under pressure. Now dumps it off in the flat. And Stewart will be shoved out of bounds just shy of the 15-yard line by Carlos Yancey and Godfrey.
Now, Schuler, of course, should have been the quarterback, but he left school early. So Jerry Colquitt, fifth-year senior, he gets hurt. Now you've got Todd Helton, who many think will be the #1 draft pick in baseball. He may go baseball next year to get Colquitt back, but you got two outstanding freshmen, Peyton Manning and Brandon Stewart. So, really, you need to play the freshman a little bit to have a quarterback with some experience next year if Todd Helton goes baseball.
That's right. Otherwise, you're right back where you started from. Third down, and the line to make is the 14-yard line. They fake the pitch. Here's the boot. Helton in trouble and is not going to have the first down. That's a nice job by Philip Daniels. Yancey came over to help him, but Daniels was not fooled. He stayed at home.
I tell you, that was a nice athletic move by Todd Helton going to the right side just to pick up what he did pick up. It's an interesting call for Phil Fulmer. 17-3, up 14. You take the 3 points and go up 17. He's either going to try to draw him off sides, Ron, or he's going for the first down. And he's had success running the ball, so I don't know if you can question that move right now. Their offensive lines control the line of scrimmage.
Travis Stroud comes in at defensive line for Georgia. The running back Slim Stewart hit in the backfield, and guess who? The all-conference linebacker Randall Godfrey will stop him, and he will not have the first down.
Mark that play down, because take a chance there to run the football. Randall Godfrey with a good play, but James Stewart slipped. You're going to see him. He just slips and never gets started, and Randall Godfrey comes off the corner, makes the tackle, and you talk about a big play now. That keeps Georgia in this football game.
Godfrey, we have unofficially 8 tackles already in this ballgame. Mike, and the thing, so many have been key tackles.
I like those Godfreys.
I think he spells it a little different.
Yeah, he does.
Sideline. Got it complete. Jerry German out of bounds just shy of the 25, and it'll stop the clock with 4:49 until halftime. Tennessee 17-3.
Ron, there's so many plays when you coach on the sideline. You have so many decisions to make. Do you take the field goal and go up 20-3 and put it 17 points ahead? Or do you go to the first down and try to punch the lights out of Georgia? Any credit Marion Campbell with a good play there defensively.
Mike, on the road, you can never have enough points. Oklahoma proved that almost last week, didn't they?
You're exactly right.
Again, they run back to the short side of the field, and that's Hines Ward. The quarterback turn running back is showing why he is getting a lot of playing time here in Athens.
Now, Georgia has an interesting quarterback situation next year. Eric Zier's gone. Their backup, Mike Bobo, number 14, has never taken a snap. And you've got Hines Ward, who is a highly recruited quarterback. You're playing him at tailback. So they're going to have a question mark at quarterback next year.
They might go single wing with Hines Ward back there. To his right, a middle screen, and a confusion there on the play. Mike Adamle, let's go to you.
Well, Ron, you talked about Mike Bobo and there being life after Eric Zier. Here's a kid who broke all of Charlie Ward's high school records at Thomasville High here in Georgia. Last year he was redshirted. He knew he wasn't going to play. He got down in the dumps. He was, by his own admission, a little immature. There was a citation for disorderly conduct. He got in Ray Goff's doghouse, but he's focused and he's ready. But fill in Eric's shoes, it'd be mighty tough.
To the near sideline, complete to German. Not enough for the first down, but Georgia will look at a third down, and they need to take it just across the 41-yard line. Fair was there defensively. Terrell Davis will check back in at running back as Hines Ward comes out. Near sideline has it complete, Hassan Graham. And that is enough for the Georgia first down.
Zaire's lined up. The one thing, you're going to get a 4-man rush. You get a twist inside, but he's so deep, you really don't want to commit linebackers to try to get to him. And he's so smart. If you blitz him, I believe he'll hurt you more than you will if you just play zone defense back there. And that's what Larry Marmie is doing.
Complete to Graham, and folks, I don't know how he got the pass through there. There are 4 Tennessee defenders, and it goes right between all 4 of them.
That's what Tennessee is trying to do, make him throw through coverage. Hassan Graham, number 4, just a little in route. Open. Tennessee has it well covered. Jason Parker, the safety, slips. First down, Georgia.
Pass by Zaire. Under pressure, going to scramble. I think the defensive back, Jason Parker, thought he was going to slide as a late flag comes in. He did not, and he takes it to the 27, and now let's see what the mark-off is.
Dead ball, personal foul.
Greg Davis, the quarterback coach, told me about Eric Zaire. He says he's tough as nails. He's in the weight room all the time, and the linemen just respect him so much because of his toughness. Tucks the ball down, scrambles, trying to pick up as much yardage as he can. Don't see the hit there unless Jason Parker kicked him.
Kicked at him, yeah. I think Parker was upset, as I mentioned, that he thought he was going to slide, and all of a sudden Zaire stayed up and put his head down and tried to roll over it. But it cost Tennessee 15 yards. The new line of scrimmage to 14. 17-3. Tennessee leads. For you, as far as what Eric Zaire means to this football team, 150 total yards for Georgia in this first half. Zaire's responsible for 125 of them. But without a running game, that goes back to what you said as far as putting it on his shoulders.
It's on his shoulders all the way on this ball club.
Bryce Hunter in motion. That's who the pass goes to. And a nice job defensively by Tennessee as Ronald Davis is right out there to make the stop.
On Jason Parker with a big play there. And if you remember the last series, Georgia was down here where they had a chance to score a couple of series ago. As you see, we're going to see the quick screen. Remember Hassan Graham when he dropped that football, number 4. Georgia may try to come back to Hassan Graham. They had him open on that play in the same area the last time they were down here. He's to the right of Eric Zaire.
Middle screen. Jeff Thomas. And he's down at the 13-yard line.
A lot of missed tackles by Tennessee. He had some shots at him before he got started.
14 of 23 for Eric, 107 yards. We've just gone under 2 minutes until halftime. Georgia trailing by 14, but the Bulldogs are driving. He's going to throw this one away. Jesse Sanders with pressure. Well, by the way, coming up on the GMAC halftime report, the scores and highlights. And we'll have a report from Notre Dame on what happened in the waning moments today as the Irish led, and then Michigan drove it downfield and made it a typical confrontation between those two ball clubs.
Ron, Tennessee's strategy again, make them work the length of the field. You make a mistake and hold them to a field goal.
He's good. 30 yards on the field goal. Don't forget, coming up next Saturday, a triple header, 12:30 Eastern Time. We'll start off Pittsburgh against number 16 ranked Ohio State, and that may change. And then at 6:30 Eastern Time, number 2 against number 20, the Florida Gators travel to Knoxville, Tennessee to meet the same Tennessee Volunteers. And then at 9:30 Eastern Time, we'll go directly to Boulder, Colorado. Number 11, Wisconsin against number 7, Colorado. Boy, quite a triple header next Saturday right here on ESPN. On and off the field, this is what it looks like as far as time.
Back into the score. We're going to get it back. Hey, we're going in the score. Way to make some plays. Let's go. Let's go.
You're hearing right there is if we're going to get the ball back and we're going to go in and we're going to make some plays and we're going to score. Georgia has been down in range twice. They threw one pass that was dropped by Hassan Graham in the end zone, and that time had an opportunity. And they get the field goal. So they've been there twice, and they only come away with 6 points. Line drive kick, taking it to 25. And out to the 39-yard line. Sean Summers on the return for Tennessee.
This first half, Ron, has been a game of field position. Tennessee's had excellent field position here in the first half. Georgia has had to work the length of the football field.
Todd Helton, great year in the Cape Cod League. You saw that ERA, Mike, of under 1 last year in Tennessee. Aaron Hayden gets outside on the left. 5, 10, counted off at 13 as he'll take it across midfield. That's Muschamp, who was there defensively for Georgia.
Tennessee has 1 timeout left, 1:17 on the clock. You'd like to now go into your 2-minute offense with Todd Helton to try to get that field goal back.
14 yards gained on that play by Hayden. Great contact in the middle of the line as Marcus Williams was there to dish it out, but also number 24 Hayden was there to dish some himself. And he winds up with plus yardage.
They're not going to a 2-minute drill here. They're maybe again because of Todd Helton's inexperience, but 4 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers in a tight end, a passing set.
And they go to the draw play, try to spread them out. Hayden, not much there, as you can see. 57, Derek Smith puts the stopper on him for Georgia.
Derek Smith led the tackle for Georgia.
Well, how about Todd Helton? How has he done in the first half of this ball game? There are the numbers: 3 of 5, 63 yards. And Mike, you hit the nail on the head off the top of the telecast. You said it perfectly. They were going to protect him as much as they can, and 3 of 5, that's protecting your quarterback. Throws it complete. His tight end will be close to the first down. I don't know if Pfeiffer got there or not. They're going to mark him just inside the 40-yard line.
Helton's pass complete to Pfeiffer. Williams runs him out.
So Hutton is coming on the field on the 4th down play.
Georgia 40.
First half numbers on Eric Zier. Nope, there. This is Bexford rather than Hutton coming on, and this will be a 57-yard attempt. Is it long enough? No. Misses by about a yard, and that's it as the clock runs out, and that's the end of the first half with our score. Tennessee 17 and Georgia 6. Now stay tuned for the GMAC halftime report.
something brand new, something fresh and exhilarating, comes into your life at the exact moment you're ready, screamingly ready for it, it's not coincidence. Aurora by Oldsmobile. See what happens when you demand better? Aurora.
If you and your wife are off to beautiful Kauai, Visa Gold's purchase power can pay for every romantic moment.
Hi, honey. Finally came down.
Not to mention a new pair of glasses.
I wanted to tell you how much I'm enjoying this second honeymoon. And that I love you.
Thank you. Because Jenkins Optical can make new glasses in an hour, but they won't take American Express.
Who's that?
Visa Gold.
I've never seen him before in my life.
This halftime report is presented by GMAC.
Hope you're settling in with all of us. We're just 1/4 of the way through a very busy college football night here at ESPN. Everybody's set to work overtime here and in South Bend, where we'll get to Chris and Lee and Craig momentarily for reaction on the great game. Hi, Chris, how you doing? Before we get to you, we welcome you to our halftime report, the scores and highlights of the games going on right now, starting with SMU and UCLA. Did you know that SMU has dominated this series? Their 4-0 career against the Bruins, they haven't played since '47. First 10,000 fans got a J.J. Stokes poster, but no J.J. out with a bruised quad. But Craig James said, watch out for Kevin Jordan this year. Gets in there for the touchdown. SMU was up 3-0. The Ponies now trail. It's just the start of the third quarter, and UCLA leads by the score of 10-3 in that one. Auburn at home at Jordan-Hare dominating Northeast Louisiana as the longest road trip rolls on. Patrick Nix, 216 yards and a touchdown pass. Virginia Tech, not an easy trip when you're going down to Southern Miss, and right now the Hokies trailing most of the way, lead by 7. The big game, Michigan and Notre Dame, last 6 games decided by a total of 25 points. This one would have drama right throughout and come down like the last Notre Dame game at South Bend did, to the last field goal by the opponent. Michigan led 23-17. Fourth quarter, a total of 25 points. This one would have drama right throughout and come down like the last Notre Dame game at South Bend did, to the last field goal by the opponent. Michigan led 23-17. Fourth quarter, Mike Miller, a huge kickoff return, past the kicker all the way down into Wolverine territory at the 38 after 3 plays. Ron Paulus to Derek Mays, pass interference, as he's knocked down by Deion Johnson. First and goal, Irish. After a penalty pushes him back, Paulus to Mays. Watch this great catch by Mays. The Irish lead by 1 after the point with 52 seconds left. Michigan works it down the field. Todd Collins to the former converted quarterback now, Jay Remersma, for 27 yards. 2 plays later, Collins avoids Burke Berry, finds Walter Smith, gets out of bounds. A chance for Remy Hamilton to win it. And he does. A field goal to close it out for Remy Hamilton as Michigan beats Notre Dame in a dramatic finish, 26-24, and credit the Michigan defensive line. 6 sacks of Ron Paulus today and Bianca Batuka over 100 yards as Michigan gets a big win. Some reactions. Go out to Chris Fowler in South Bend.
Mike, there is no joy in the shadow of Touchdown Jesus. Folks here reliving nightmares of the Boston College loss, the last football game played here. Notre Dame has now lost consecutive home games for the first time since '84, the Faust era. Craig James, Lee Corso will join me in a second. But first, Steve Cypher's reaction with Todd Collins, who was held in check in the first half by Gary Muller's game plan, but not in the second half.
God, what was said at the half to change the game plan? You went to the air more.
Oh, halftime. That's why I said, Mo, you're going to cut me loose, you know? We got a great team. I knew our wide receivers were going to beat those guys. They try to play us man. They can't play us man. That's an insult.
They scored the go-ahead touchdown. Did you have any doubts?
No. We practice this drill all the time. And every third. It was a great effort. Our team, we believed in ourselves. That's why we won this game.
Todd, thank you. Thank you very much. That's it. Chris?
And he was not working against the prevent defense. Lou Holtz emphasizing that. The Irish went into the prevent against BC last year. For Collins, the rest of the Wolverines, who suffered an embarrassing loss to Notre Dame last year, this one was sweet.
defense never gave up. I mean, it looked like it was over.
Never gave up. You know what I'm saying? We don't give up. We never gave up. We never gave up.
You know, and the loss is just, yeah, it's devastating. You know, I mean, coming in, I wanted a nice big bang here to start things off, and things didn't work out.
There's nothing I can say. I know how we feel, and, you know, we go from here. We expected to win. We thought we had it won, and it just didn't quite work out.
Michigan helped by 3 Notre Dame fumbles. They only lost 5 all of last year, but also a fortunate break from Michigan early in the game.
Well, you're right. Michigan had a field goal blocked early into the game, and it turns out to be a blessing in disguise. And let me tell you why. When a field goal is blocked, as it was here, it was 4th down and 1. When the field goal is blocked, that defense can advance the ball if it's caught in the air. Can you believe the Michigan luck here? It gets the field goal blocked. The offensive lineman catches the ball and falls forward and makes it by 6 inches. The reason why that was important, instead of no points, that was a 7-point play, and therefore that's why they won the football game on that lovely play.
Foster, a very important 1-yard catch. Yeah. We heard from Collins. Ron Paulus, though, impressed you also with his poise in this game.
Entering the week and everything, we talked about how there were a lot of question marks about Paulus, how he would handle the pressure of a good, talented defense. And they changed things up in Michigan today, and they went after him as well. This one here, the quarterback bootleg, when he gets around, he's wanting to hit number 4, Lee Becton, down in the flat. Instead, he's covered up. Look at his head. He looks back inside at the tight end. As soon as he does that, Lee Becton comes open because the linebacker goes back inside to help. Easy 6, pitch and catch. Most freshman quarterbacks would have immediately seen that he was covered and taken off of the pylon in the corner and tried to score a touchdown. Instead, look at his head, look back to the inside, opens up Becton for the easy touchdown. Very impressed with Ron Paulus. The guy showed a ton of pocket savvy, knowing when he was in trouble just to get out of the way to avoid sacks and to get rid of the football.
Would love to have Paulus one final chance. Pete Kerplevich, who caught the kickoff with a couple of seconds left, if he'd taken a knee, they would have had one crack to the end zone. As it was, time just ran out. Michigan, a tough road ahead. 5 very tough ball games coming up, but 4 of them are at home, including Colorado in 2 weeks. We'll be back here at halftime of the Miami-Arizona State game. Let's send it back down to our studios and Mike Tirico. Mike?
And, Chris, of course, Notre Dame has to live with this for a couple of years. The two teams don't meet again until 1997. As we continue at halftime, some great games between the Pac-10 and the Big Ten today. Interesting matchup in State College that didn't turn out to be a very pleasant trip east for the Trojans. Highlights ahead. And Stanford Northwestern came down to the final play. We'll show you what happened as we continue. Tennessee by 11 at half.
This quality time was made possible by GMAC. With financing and leasing that can be arranged for your new GM vehicle fast, right at the dealership. Because GMAC believes you should be out enjoying your new car instead of waiting for it to be financed. GMAC, the expressway home.
Reunion sure can make you feel old.
But you look great. Really. Now, you married Tom, right?
Right.
Oh, he's a great guy. Really. You know, I haven't seen Tom in years.
That's funny. Neither have I.
I'm sorry. Really.
Don't be. Really.
Really?
When David and Lisa Edmondson needed life insurance, they came to see me. I'm Kent Spearman, their State Farm agent. I help the Edmondsons put together a life insurance plan that works for them and their budget. And I stay in touch as their needs grow and change because that plan has to work for their children, Rachel and Travis, too. If you want life insurance that works for you, get an agent who works for you. Get yourself a State Farm agent.
State Farm sells life insurance.
GMAC Halftime Report is presented by GMAC Financial Services, the expressway home.
3 games matching the Big Ten and Pac-10 today, and after impressive Week 1 showings, maybe Southern Cal's visit to Happy Valley to take on Penn State, the most interesting matchup. This one was over quick. Keyjana Carter, first drive for the Lions, 32-yard score. He had a $119 on the ground today. Penn State led 21-0. Second straight week, they scored 35 at half, and they dominate USC. Washington against Ohio State. Napoleon Kaufman, huge day on the ground, 211 yards. Huskies hang on. They were up big at the half and win by 9. Stanford Northwestern, wonderful finish. Bill Walsh sending Steve Stenstrom out to start the season. In the fourth quarter, 4th and goal, down 7. Stenstrom, all kind of time. Nobody open, keeps it himself. After the point, we're tied at 41. 32 seconds left, 3rd and 15. Stenstrom to Mark Harris. It's a first down. They're getting in field goal range. Moving it even closer for Eric Abrams. 24-yarder to win it. Holton, he had never missed a field goal inside of 29 yards until that one. It ends in a 41-all tie. The Cardinal has not won the season opener since 1986. Oh, the blowouts today. Florida, 2nd straight game over 70. Terry Dean just backed up last week with 4 TD passes today. Florida State trailed at the half for the first time since they've been in the ACC, but they win by 32. Wisconsin, their 2 backs, Moss and Fletcher, combined for 229 yards and 6 scores. Texas-Louisville was an interesting game for John Mackovic. Would he finally get a win at home in the opener? Down 7, Louisville trying to drive in the 4th, but Marty Lowe is picked off. Joey Ellis takes it 47 yards to seal it against Coach Schnellenberger's team. Shea Moret, good passing day, 247 yards and a touchdown as Texas wins an important game by 14. Alabama and Vandy were tied at 7 almost to the 4th quarter. Vandy had 4 turnovers, though. Sherman Williams made them pay. Tide wins by 10. Texas A&M, folks, they may not lose for quite some time. Impressive domination of Oklahoma, pulling away with a big 4th quarter. NC State, Mike O'Kane used to be the quarterback at Clemson. He goes into Death Valley and beats his alma mater by 17 today. And BYU, which struggled at Hawaii late last Saturday night, goes into Air Force and beats the Falcons by 24. We are at halftime. CFA prime time in the SEC. Tennessee leading Georgia by 11. We'll update some other night action in the SEC when you come back.
Do you know where to go for an award-winning dealership? Book Chevrolet Geo Buick in Nutley. We have been honored with a Customer Service Award for Excellence and rated in the top 30 of the 600 dealers in the Northeast. Come to us for great deals on the 1994 Chevrolets and Buicks. We have a newly expanded parts department, ASE certified mechanics, and specialists in collision repairs. Expect to get more for less at Book Chevrolet Geo Buick, 66 Washington Avenue, Nutley, New Jersey.
Here it is, the largest picture tube TV you can buy. Only Mitsubishi has it at P.C. Richard & Son. You can own this 40-inch picture tube TV for just $29.99 and get 0% financing for 12 months. That's 0% interest for 1 full year. Add on any Mitsubishi VCR and get 0% interest for 12 months with a P.C. Richard credit card. Plus, free next-day delivery. Part of P.C. Richard's Founders Month celebration, going on now.
For Tennessee's pioneers, education was a light in the wilderness. The frontier school they founded in 1794 would become the University of Tennessee. 200 years later, that light shines on. The lessons of the past and a vision of the future have made UT what it is today. A statewide university, proud of its heritage and committed to learning, growth, and public service.
If you are in high school and want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, you cannot compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call area code 319-337-1492.
The GMAC halftime report continues. They changed quarterbacks at Illinois. Scott Weaver threw 2 touchdowns in the Illini shutout of the Tigers. After losing its Southeast Conference opener to Georgia, South Carolina's Brad Scott looking for win 1 tonight, taking on Arkansas right back in Columbia right now in the 3rd quarter. On the Stanley Pritchard 1-yard run, defensive battle, South Carolina leads by 7. Other nighttime action, Michigan State, beneficiary of 3 Kansas first quarter turnovers. You saw the Syracuse game last week, their struggling again with Cincinnati, a team that took them deep into the 4th quarter last year. What about Toledo? Looking to beat Purdue for the 2nd time in 3 years, leading at halftime at Ross-Ade Stadium. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane leading Memphis by the score of 18-7. As you see, Minnesota trying to bounce back from that Penn State game where they really struggled last week. Good effort by Minnesota thus far. The Virginia Navy game, interesting story. Simeon Willis, the starting quarterback, out. Thus far, not a problem for the Cavaliers. Coming up after our game, late night. In the Pac-10, it's Miami against Arizona State. Last week, Miami showed that they have some swagger back. Now, Brad Nessler says Hurricanes have some other things on their mind tonight.
The Miami Hurricanes were the royal family of college football, and they ruled with a style and swagger that befit their crown. But all of that unraveled last year in the wake of a 9-3 season that saw the Hurricanes blown out of the top 10 for the first time in 8 years. Tonight in Tempe, the climb back to the top continues.
This is Miami team is hungry. Everybody's ready to go out and get something. Everybody's ready to go out and prove to the world that we're still Miami, that we're going to win that championship.
Coming up right after Tennessee and Georgia, the 6th-ranked Miami Hurricanes looking for their first win ever at Sun Devil Stadium. Take on Arizona State at 1-0. Things get started at 10:09 Eastern. Hope you'll join us then. Mike?
See you in a little bit, Brad, after our second half between the hedges in Athens, where Tennessee has an 11-point lead, 17-6 over Georgia.
This quality time was made possible by GMAC. With financing and leasing that can be arranged for your new GM vehicle fast, right at the dealership. Because you should be out enjoying your new car instead of waiting for it to be financed. GMAC, the expressway home.
The business was started in the winter. We kept all the windows open because flowers were a priority. So we froze. But it was the mission that we were on. It was the mission of growing a business. It's all worked out well. The American Express corporate card is used here almost on a daily basis. Keeps all of our expenses in line and helps us to manage our money better.
The American Express corporate card helps lots of businesses to blossom.
Saluting an American tradition, 125 years of college football.
Since 1985, Virginia Tech has had a straight-on kicker. Well, not until Atlee Larson, the soccer-style kicker, just kicked a 43-yarder in Hattiesburg. The Hokies lead by 10. The second half, we'll head back to Ron, Mike, and Mike after this.
The Fairfield Executive Inn has added 43 rooms for your comfort and convenience. Feel the warmth and charm of our elegantly appointed new rooms. Queen and king-size beds of rich cherry wood. The convenience of 2 phones with private voicemail. Relish renowned cuisine in our 4-star restaurant. Unwind in our indoor pool, whirlpool, and sauna. Need to get away for the weekend? Relax in the beauty of our new deluxe suites with king-size beds, separate parlors, built-in bars, and revitalizing jacuzzis. Call now about our corporate comfort rates or a weekend whatever weekend package.
The only name you need to know when buying your next car is Heritage Lincoln Mercury, because price sells cars, and nothing beats the Heritage price.
Right now, get a new 94 Lincoln Continental, fully loaded, including a power moonroof, for only $454 a month. No money down, only at Heritage Lincoln Mercury.
Only 15 minutes from Emerson, 10 minutes from Englewood, 10 minutes from Clifton. You're just minutes from your best deal at Heritage Lincoln Mercury. Come ready to buy. Hackensack Avenue, Hackensack.
Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Since 1990, University of Georgia faculty have taught Vietnamese professors how to teach free market enterprise, teaching capitalism to communists. International outreach such as this means our students learn directly from teachers helping shape global change. The University of Georgia, preparing its graduates for careers in the dynamic global village of tomorrow.
17-6 our score at halftime. The Tennessee Volunteers on top.
And Mike Godfrey, probably the most important two numbers in the first half, time of possession and also field position.
Exactly what Tennessee wanted to do. First of all, keep Eric Zeier on the sideline, 18-36. And then the average field position, their own 43, which is good for them, but make Eric Zeier work the length of the football field, starting field position the 22-yard line. So they made him play with a long field tonight.
Bexford will tee it up and kick it off for the Tennessee Volunteers to open this third quarter. Bexford with a good foot into this one, and McCraney will go on one knee, 2 yards deep in the end zone.
Eric Zeier, 14 of 24, 108 yards, so you have to be happy if you're Tennessee. Here's his pass chart. The most success he's had is drop back when he had the ball under center, when he was lined up taking the snap from the center. 6 of 6. Shotgun, he's 5 for 11, 37 yards. Tennessee making him throw short. Roll left, 0 for 1. Rolling to the right side, 1 for 2, 13 yards, and then play action. Tennessee's been effective against him, Ron, but this game's not over by any means.
He's going to go on top. Got it! Jeff Thomas.
The fighter in Eric Zeier has had most of the success, but play action, taking the ball from the center. Very well thrown ball. Raymond Austin, number 28. Got behind him, Jeff Thomas, number 8. Big play.
Ronald Davis makes the save, 71 yards in the pass play. We talked about a big play offense for Georgia. There it is right there. First down, inside the 10-yard line of Tennessee. Hines Ward, his flags come down and it's no play.
False start on the offensive line.
Raymond Austin, the sophomore out of Lawton, Oklahoma.
Ron, Tennessee was able to keep Georgia from the big play in the first half, and Georgia opens up with a big one in the second half.
Corner moves up and nothing. Hines Ward got the handoff, and as soon as he did, Talley was right there.
You're going to see number 8 run pass. Watch the speed now as he's even. That's Jeff Thomas. He's even with the Tennessee defender. Now he just takes off and leaves Raymond Austin, number 28, and Ronald Davis, number 1. And last week against South Carolina, they had a 79-yard touchdown, 66-yard touchdown pass, about a 16-yard pass that turned into a 34-yard touchdown. So big plays beat South Carolina.
Far side, this is Graham. He'll be tackled just shy of the 5 by Terry Fair.
Third down in the first half. Tennessee owned third downs in key situations, and Eric Zeier needs now to make sure he doesn't let another third down go by the wayside against this Tennessee defense.
There was a collision at the 1-yard line. Hassan Graham is the man that he wanted. And Mike, again, a Georgia mistake, the illegal procedure. I know everybody stood up on the play, but the running play behind, zip, they called it. He was through there, and when the whistle started to blow, but it killed the momentum of the drive.
The 5 yards that they're back away from the end zone. But third down, Tennessee has owned when they had to have it. Tennessee's been able to come up with a key defensive play.
Cannon Parker. Good heavens, what happened there? He got it. It was a fat 9-iron, but he hit it. 17-9, Tennessee. We'll be right back.
Sports writers. Ever wonder how they pick football's national champion? It's a highly scientific process. It's time to settle it on the field. Introducing college football's national championship by Sega Sports. 32 top college teams going head-to-head. No sports riders, just great football action. College football's national championship, only on Sega Genesis.
Taking a look at the weather, we've got a high-pressured system.
Sitting right here.
And that is bringing us nothing but beautiful, clear skies and old Mr. Sunshine.
Is it just us, or are weathermen really only guessing?
But hold on.
It's gonna get better.
Clear as a bell. Not a cloud in the sky. Soaring.
Dry.
That's why we make the Isuzu Trooper. Because life's an adventure. Be prepared.
My prediction, it's gonna rain. Trust me.
Isuzu, practically amazing.
Retirement years should be secure years. That's why Merrill Lynch has a gerontologist to help us understand the social, emotional, and financial needs these years bring. That extra insight can make a difference between seeking security and finding it. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives. And by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. Hassan Graham receiving that pass, quarterback Eric Zeier. Zeier came straight over to the sidelines, picked up the telephone, started talking upstairs. But Mike, just what he's doing right now, he paces it. He's like a coach on the sideline, and he's over there talking to people, giving them information, but also trying to fire them up. I mean, he is always in the ballgame. This is Billy Williams. Oh, my goodness. Billy hit with a head-high tackle at the 24-yard line. It was Trey Sykes. He got down on the special teams. 17-9, Tennessee lead. So that lead has been cut to 8. And just over 13 to play as Todd Helton will come back out.
What Todd Helton would like to do in Tennessee is establish that running game in the second half.
Action is Stewart, and then the quick out pass to Williams. And Billy's going to have time. And let's check in once again with Mike Adamle. Mike?
Well, the one thing the Georgia defensive coaches said, the adjustments that they were going to make strictly had to do with Tennessee throwing the football. They want them to throw the football. They weren't specific, but they were going to make Tennessee throw. If that meant 7 men on the line of scrimmage or 8 men on the line of scrimmage, they're going to make Tennessee throw. They were totally unhappy with the number of snaps the defensive team was on the field in the first half.
Well, you're looking at Marion Campbell there. He's the defensive coordinator. He's the highest paid assistant in the Southeastern Conference. Makes $106,000. Marion coached in the pros, head coach. Had a meeting at McDonald's with Ray Goff to decide whether he's going to take this job or not. Was out of football for 4 years.
Across the 40, and Randall Gottfried will come up and hit him. Gottfried has really had an awfully good ball game, Mike.
Been all over the field. It's the clock again as we let's see how long they can keep him on the sideline. And he's like, you're talking about a caged animal there. He wants back on the field. You're right. He just keeps walking.
Well, right now he's just pacing, but earlier he goes over and he is talking to players, talking to coaches, and trying to get it dialed in. Let's do it again. It's split backwards, close to the first down, but he'll miss it by a half yard. It's Greg Bright who grabbed him first.
I think Mike Adamle, what he said is right, because look at Georgia now defensively. They're starting to crowd the football with 8 people, and Mike's talking about Marion Campbell has probably made the decision, hey, we're not going to lose this football game to this offensive line. Tailbacks, we're going to try to group up on him and make him throw the football.
Well, you mentioned in the first half that strike to Billy Williams is what made him go back into a conventional defense.
Look at how many people are crowding the line of scrimmage.
Good. Right side, bounces off his own blocker. I don't know. Yeah, on second effort, he's going to have it. Matt Storm is down at the bottom of that mass of humanity, and you can see Ratliff was out front blocking.
Marion Campbell made an interesting point to me the other day. He said that James Stewart, he said he lowers his shoulder on contact and rolls into the hit. He said it'd be interesting at the end of the year to watch and to note the Chartie's yardage he gains after the initial hit. See James Stewart, number 33, there's the initial hit, but now watch him spin and roll and try to get the first down, and he's successful.
Mikey's got 16 carries tonight, 86 yards, and has scored 2 touchdowns. 17-9, Tennessee leads. We're about to go into 11 in the third quarter. Big opening this time, 5, now 10, and counted off at 12 yards. And Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Ron, good thing Craig James is out in South Bend. I don't know if he'd be able to sit here and watch this. SMU down 10-3. Raymond Flanagan to Mick Rossley. That's Tom Rossley, the head coach's son. Tied at 10, late third quarter. LSU, which looked good against A&M, losing by 5 last week, leads Jackie Sherrill's Bulldogs by 11.
I think UCLA maybe is looking a little bit to Nebraska.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. By the way, that is an impressive score for Curly Hallman's group against a very much improved Mississippi State team. And I think you have found out 14-3 was the tally, LSU leading it. That game against Texas A&M last week was a much better showing than people might have given credit, because A&M manhandling a good Oklahoma football team.
Texas A&M's a different type team at home. I mean, I know they're a good football team. At home, they have really built a good, solid winning record. They're tough to beat down there.
You think that 12-man works, huh?
Oh, I think it works for sure.
Breaks off a tackle in the backfield and takes it down to the 35 as Derek Smith will finally corral it.
3 minutes, going on 3:10 here. Eric Zeier standing on the sideline, and Marion Campbell's doing everything he can to get the football back. Watch the line of scrimmage here. Georgia has 8 people at the line of scrimmage daring Tennessee to throw the football, but I like the plan. Phil Fulmer and David Cutcliffe. David Cutcliffe said we'll be methodical, dull, boring. All we want to do is score and take the crowd out of this game.
Play action this time, and they get the slip screen. Billy Williams, and look who catches him. That is Godfrey from his middle line. Mike, it is very obvious why he's a first-team all-conference. I think probably he ought to be on some All-American list as well, don't you?
What a heart he has, number 42. He's making plays all over the field. Quick screen out there to Billy Williams. Leslie Ratliff, the big 302 pounds, 6'7" tackle, was leading the blocking. Randall Godfrey stopped her. It could have went for a big game.
You know what they call him? They call him Zeus. And he's one of the strongest men on this football team at 6'2", 223 pounds. Rolls the pocket, looking for the end zone, and dropped as a flag comes down, and now another.
Well, that ball was on the mark by Todd Helton. One to his left side.
Mike, this is a very smart move by Nilo Sylvan. Watch him make the defensive back go up his back.
Defensive pass interference, penalty of 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Nilo Sylvan, number 83, is going to pull up a little bit and let Corey Johnson kind of run into him. You tell your receivers when you got that defensive back on your hip, you can pull up a little bit and let him run up your hip.
Mike, the good ones can really feel the defensive back coming too.
I'd say Nilo Sylvan is only a junior, 5'9", 176, pretty good move.
Jay Graham back in the ball game, gets the handoff. Banged hard at the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to get anything. Philip Daniels is the guy who comes up defensively.
Look at those eyes. They're watching attentively. He knows that he has had some success, and he's seen some things here in the second half with adjustments. He just wants to get back on the field. But number 2, Todd Helton, is keeping him off the field. And if you can cash in with 7 here, in the time you put Eric Zeier on the sideline, success.
This is a pitch back to Graham. Tries to take it outside. They string him out, and they bump him out of bounds for a loss. Muschamp will be the last man to hit him, but the guy that forced the play was Derek Smith. He got up in the crease and said, let's take it out where I've got some more frames.
I think what Tennessee's looking at now is that they've jammed the inside so much with so many people. Try the sweep, but Georgia got good effort by Derek Smith and Robert Edwards coming up the football field.
3rd down.
They ran a draw successfully down on the other end in the 3rd down situation.
Gonna throw it this time, or attempt to anyway. Helton rolls the pocket. Has a man. Touchdown, Tennessee, Joey King.
Seeing a quarterback come of age here. Made a good decision to throw that ball to Joey Kent, but he bought some time because he's a good athlete with good feet and mobile.
Just like it, the 3-2 pitch out of the park.
All those baseball scouts watching tonight are saying, uh-oh, the money's going up too.
John Bexworth to attempt this extra point. Knocks it home, and let's take a break. 8:13 remaining, 3rd quarter. And as you watch it one more time, Tennessee 24 and Georgia 9.
Taking a look at the weather, we've got a high pressure system
sitting right here.
And that is bringing us nothing but clear skies and oh, Mr. Sunshine.
Is it just us, or are weathermen really only guessing?
But hold on.
It's gonna get better.
Clear as a bell. Not a cloud in the sky.
That's why we make the Isuzu Trooper, because life's an adventure. Be prepared.
My prediction, it's gonna rain. Trust me.
Isuzu, practically amazing.
I hear Garth Brooks is in the building today.
Oh, I just got a CD at McDonald's. Oh.
Garth's favorites.
It's gotten much too young and wild. How does that one go? You know.
Oh, the white line.
Guy puts on a cowboy hat and only thinks he's Garth Brooks.
Get Garth's favorites. Each full-length CD is just $5.99. Each cassette $3.99 when you buy any extra value meal or large sandwich. Or get these other hot artists. $1 from each CD and cassette benefits Ronald McDonald Children's Charities.
What you want is what you get.
Down boots, dude.
Hey, everyone likes to go out and have a good time.
But if you've had one too many, here's a few suggestions to combine with your night out.
Like calling a cab.
Counting on a friend.
Designating a driver.
Or hey, do what we do. Take the bus home.
That's it, Joe.
Miller Lite and Brooks & Dunn remind you to please think when you drink, because that's a great sounding combination.
Thursday, the Army Cadets march into North Carolina to take on the Duke Blue Devils at 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Well, folks, next Saturday night, there'll be well over 90,000 folks there. Massive Neyland Stadium as Terry Dunn leads Florida into Knoxville. Yes, sir. There will be Gators from Florida on the Tennessee new turf next Saturday night, Florida, and the Volunteers of Tennessee.
Florida's averaging more than most basketball teams this year, points scored.
That's true. By the way, on the clock on Zeier off the field on that drive, Tennessee kept him there for 4 minutes and 58 seconds.
That's success, and then scoring 7 points to boot.
Georgia defense, and you can see Coach Goff over there. Not only Coach Campbell, but Coach Goff over trying to get them going. They're down now 24-9.
Syracuse starting its comeback a little bit earlier this week. Down by 6. Kirby Dardar runs 6 of 8 plays on a drive, runs in a touchdown, and he's just run in another one, pending the extra point. Q's by 7. Pittsburgh also in the Big East, leading Ohio by 10. You'll see Pitt, Ohio State, 12:30 Eastern next Saturday.
Here's Ron.
So Mike, it would be very accurate to say that Dardar scored, right?
Eric Zier time on the field, 11 minutes, 24, and then 23:45 off the field. Can't do any damage off the field. That's Tennessee's plan.
Deep over the middle, has it complete at the 33 to Bryce Hunter.
The other thing is where they start from, Ron. They're always starting from inside the 20 or the 20-yard line. Long field to go against this Tennessee defense. And you notice Tennessee has not blitzed one time tonight. Four-man rush, heavy coverage, extra defensive backs in the game. They're going to just make him work his way. Has not been sacked once tonight either.
19 yards in the pass play to Hunter. This time it's Graham. He's wrapped up close to a gain of 10. In fact, now they've spotted him down just beyond the chains, and it's Terry Farr who makes the tackle.
Terry Farr is a freshman out of Phoenix. Larry Marmie, when he's head coach of Arizona State, recruited his brother Brian, who plays basketball at UConn. Didn't get him, but got Terry to come to Tennessee after he left Arizona State to go to Tennessee. So a good recruiting coup.
Blitz coming this time, and the pass thrown quickly. German, and they get it out of bounds.
Complete to German.
Larry Marmie, the defensive coordinator. That's the first blitz tonight by Tennessee, and Eric Zier made him pay a little bit for that blitz. Larry, very sound football coach.
You know, one of the things that we talk about a new quarterback, Mike, that the offense has got to get a situation taken care of with. When you lose all four down defensive linemen, you've got to bring a lot of folks along with you.
And how about the first two ball games? You faced J.J. Stokes and Wayne Cook out at UCLA. Then you come to Eric Zier, and then next week you got the Florida offense.
Overthrown. Graham again, the intended receiver.
Well, when you study a quarterback, Larry Marmie analyzed Georgia's pass patterns, how they protect Eric Zier, whether he thought he could get a one-on-one with somebody, graded the offensive linemen, graded the wide receivers, their speed and the routes that they run, find the weakness in the offensive line, try to get Ben Talley with that thing, and then the down and distance tendencies. That's how he decided all week of how he was going to play this Georgia offense.
From behind, and he gets it complete to Hines Ward. Going to be a gain of a couple, and that's really the first time tonight that they have hit him just as he was throwing, and Adam Meadows has injured that left ankle again and is hobbling off the field. The big left tackle for the Georgia Bulldogs didn't get to practice hardly at all this week, and boy, you could see he is frustrated. He got to play tonight. He thought everything was on the road back, and that means Chad Chosewood, a junior out of Alto, Georgia, will have to come in and replace him at that all-important left tackle spot, and they hit him, and he will be sacked. That's Steve White.
Where it's paying off for Tennessee now is the fact that they rotated defensive linemen. Here's Ben Talley, number 90, who's a linebacker. They put him down. He's against Chad Chosewood, number 72. And as we were talking, you're looking for matches, mismatches. Steve White on the other side, number 64. So being able to rest their defensive linemen has been a good decision by Tennessee.
Good coverage kick here. In fact, the deep back, Summers will run away with it, or run away from it, and Georgia downs it at the 2. That is a 47-yard punt. Let's take a break.
Students, leasing a car is a poor investment, right? Wrong, you nincompoops. Now watch carefully. At Saturn of Route 23 and Saturn of Ramsey, lease a 95 Saturn Sports Coupe. And here is the best part. For just $185 a month, you get stereo cassette, air conditioning, power steering, and dual airbags. What do we do with the money we save?
Have a party?
Jawohl! In Europe! Saturn Saturn of Route 23 and Saturn of Ramsey.
The all-new chicken fajita from Taco Maker. So, what do you think? It's chunky,
Tender.
marinated strips of all-white
Chicken meat.
That's all-white chicken meat.
It's zesty.
Sizzling.
Cheesy.
And just
99
cents.
Red and green peppers?
Yep, better get it while the getting is good. The sizzling chicken fajita for a hot, low price. Just 99 cents, only from the Taco Maker. Fresh Mex definitely is the best Mex.
Sports news is finally available. Bob knows.
Morning, Bob. Your email yesterday, dead on. The Dodgers pulled it out last night with some 12th inning heroics.
With ESPN Net on Prodigy, Bob talks to the SportsCenter pros every day.
Hey, Bob, for answers to your NFL questions, check out the inside info on coaching changes.
What you want, when you want. Call 1-800-ESPN-PRO. Get ESPN Net on Prodigy.
Hey, how about some Super Bowl tickets?
24-9 Tennessee, and look where they're scrimmaging from. That punt was down just inside the 2-yard line. Aaron Hayden is 6 yards deep, but they give it to the fullback. The Colts will take it straight ahead. And a check-in with Mike Adamle. Mike, what do you have for us?
Well, Marion Campbell, as Mike said, out of football for 4 years. This is his first job, believe it or not, after 20 years of some years of pro experience, his first college job, initially with the Patriots, and then he coached the famed Purple People Eaters with the Minnesota Vikings, later the Fearsome Foursome of the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, he was a two-time stint as a head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, the Eagles, and the Falcons again, and now here back at Georgia. He could use Merlin Olsen or Lamar Lundy tonight.
You know, against this fine offensive front of Tennessee, that's exactly right, Mike.
They'd be undersized by that Tennessee line.
That's the truth. You know, one of the things, both Mikes, that he has brought to this football team, I think Marion Campbell has helped bring confidence to a young group that was really searching after a 5-6 season last year. Mike, let's go back to you.
You know, despite his being away from football for quite some time, he was Ray Goff's #1 choice for defensive coordinator. And why not? He's an old Bulldog himself, and three-time All-SEC defensive tackle 3.5 decades ago. Can he still relate with young people? You bet.
Our players have rallied around Coach Campbell. I mean, they truly love him, and they'll lay it on the line for him, and because they want to please him and they want to play well for him, but also a lot of them, all of them, I think in the back of their mind would like to play in the next level. And here's a guy that's been there for 38 years as a player and coach, and they know to get there, they better listen to what he says.
Well, there's an example of it right there. They stop it. Derek Bird.
They're an improved defensive football team, Ron. From what I saw last year, of course, they're older, so you expect them to be a little bit better. Derek Bird, number 91, 6'5", 235-pound linebacker. And you find building stones, and this is one you find. Inside charge, forcing the block. Aaron Hayden stopped.
Up 3 yards deep. The left footer driving spiral to McCraney. And he'll be stopped after a gain of 5. Football is loose. Tennessee has recovered.
Ball recovered by Tennessee. Stewart making the recovery for the ball.
Chris McCraney, number 23, trying to get some yards, and the ball pops out. Looked like James Stewart, number 33, with a recovery.
Eric Lane is the man, Mike, that made the hit to knock it loose. Don't forget, immediately following our game, Miami at Arizona State will be going to Tempe. Third game of our triple header. Play action. Going to go up on top looking for Billy Williams. Tipped away and incomplete. Robert Edwards had the cover on that one, and Mike Tirico.
Ron, let's check in. This has been a very defensive battle. You know, South Carolina has a good defense. Arkansas's Barry Lunny back to pass, picked off by the safety Chris Adams at the goal line. After the big J.J. Metters completion gets Arkansas close, they come away with nothing. Meantime, UCLA is taking the lead. The inside handoff to Sharman Shah. The Shah, he ran for the end zone, and the Bruins have a 7-point lead in the fourth.
Well, they're having a battle, though, aren't they, against the Ponies? Helton on the keeper. 5, 10, 15, and he will be shoved out of bounds just across the 40 at the 39-yard line.
Ron, when Georgia looks back this football game, their specialty teams have really let them down tonight. And now they get first down Tennessee. The option play, Todd Helton feeling more comfortable at quarterback. Mose Phillips, number 19, the fullback, taking after those Nebraska fullbacks with a block, and Corey Johnson, number 27, on the tackle. Feeling a little bit more at home now with Todd Helton at quarterback. You can see the play calling now. A little bit more to Todd Helton.
This is Stewart. Bounces to the outside, back to the middle. Spinning, twisting, turning inside the 30 to the 27. I have a feeling, though, in watching that last play, Mike, that Phil Fulmer might tell him when they view the film, I just as soon you go out of bounds instead of lowering your shoulder and your head into the defensive
well, you always
back.
want them to get out of bounds, but then you'd also, as a coach, you want them to get as many yards as they can. James Stewart, same thing Marion Campbell talked about, first hit. You do not bring James Stewart down. 18 carries tonight. Look at those averages. 6-0 and 6-4. That's the ball game to this point.
Tennessee had 41 snaps of the football in the first half. It's going to be interesting to see what they've got here in the second half. This play is going to go for a loss, and again, it's Derek Bird, and the sophomore out of Box Springs, Georgia, has been impressive.
Talking to Marion Campbell the other day, the defensive coordinator, asked him what his biggest adjustment he's had, and he said the 20-hour rule. With the pros, I could keep them all day if I wanted to. Here, players even want to stay out and improve their pass rush. I can't even stay out with them. He said, I have to go in. So that's a tough rule.
Tennessee, as we're about to go under 2 minutes to play. Play action. Complete at the 30. This is Mose Phillips, and they get the big fullback out of bounds at the 21. Randall Godfrey, and he has been in double figures for a time in tackles. Continues his excellent ball game tonight. We've got him unofficially for 12 stops.
Mose Phillips says, you know, I don't run the ball much. I don't get to run it much, and I'm a blocker, but when you give it to me, I'm going to run somebody down. Mose Phillips, the fullback, number 19, little naked play. Todd Helton gets squared up, does a nice job, gets the ball. Now watch him lower his head here. He says, I finally got the football, and I'm going to run over somebody. Corey Johnson, number 27.
Third down to the bottom tiers, and they roll it this time to the left, and the southpaw is intercepted. Muschamp up the near sideline, and is going to be caught from behind at the 45-yard line by Sylvan.
Take Georgia down for the score. Randall Godfrey, your linebacker, was the one that forced that throw.
42 yards on the return. Zaire going to go on top. Got his man. Touchdown, Ron Daniels.
For two, and the reason, Ron, is they're eventually going to have to go for two either way if they score again to get this lead. So they're down by 8 right now. They would like to take it down to 6. For Eric Zaire, he's like a time bomb. He's waiting to go off, and you just have a feeling when you give him the ball at the 50, he's going to make you pay.
knocked down by Tennessee. In fact, 2 defenders were there to take care of it, but Scott Galen, and we're going to give Raymond Austin a half of it as well. So the 2-point conversion is no good.
Really, Raymond Austin on this play, as you see Todd Helton. Eric Zeier rolls to the left, gets his feet set quickly. We talk about a strong arm, but Raymond Austin just underplays it a little bit, or could have had the interception. Juan Daniels for the touchdown.
Mike, that's 2 big plays that Austin has gone for the interception instead of the sure thing, hitting the ball and knocking it away.
And exactly right. And what Tennessee defensively did not want to do is give up the big play.
That's right.
Make them work the field, which they did in the first half. Second half, they've had 2 big plays.
Tennessee has dominated in possession. We only have 1:05 left in the third, but with what just happened, 24-15. Off the top of the telecast, one of the really fun places to do a ball game as far as we're concerned. As a youngster playing, you can talk to anybody. When you come between the hedges, what exhilaration. I mean, it happens. 85,000 strong.
I was looking at the scoreboard before. Georgia had 16 points. They took one away from them.
Billy Williams. Well, tomorrow, be sure and set your clock to this one, noon Eastern Time, NFL Game Day. Look at the rivalry between Montana and Young when they were 49er teammates. And we'll go on the field with Jerry Rice as he takes us through his play routes. Also, discuss last week's comeback as Dan Marino prepares to face the Packers defense. Then tomorrow night, NFL Prime Time. Join Chris Berman, Robin Roberts, and Tom Jackson for wall-to-wall highlights all tomorrow, right here on ESPN. James Stewart. But Tennessee goes right back to doing what they were doing a moment ago. It's going to be a gain of 13 yards by James Stewart.
Leslie Ratliff for the good block, but what made this play was James Stewart was able to cut back. Everything has been front side for Tennessee. James Stewart with a good move to cut it all the way back against the grain.
See what I'm talking about on the sideline? He is constantly either coaching or pep talking. I got fired up the other day when we did the interviews with the youngsters. We always interview youngsters from both teams. And talk about a positive young fella.
Look at the intensity in his eyes.
Not much on this one. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us now?
Ron, a great SEC battle is brewing. South Carolina 7-0. We mentioned how Arkansas was getting close, turning it over. Arkansas sees South Carolina drive the field. A Stanley Pritchard shovel pass made it 14-0. Kansas down 10-0. A Shiki Preston to Dewey Houston, the tight end. Kansas will trail by 3 as they head to halftime there.
Well, with that, Mike, thanks to me, and that's the end of the third quarter here in Athens, Georgia. Tennessee 24, Georgia 15.
There are several ways to send a package overseas. Most are reliable and quick. But when it comes to price, they can't compete. Because Express Mail International will get your package abroad for as little as $11.50. Most other published rates don't even come close. We fly worldwide, starting at about half the price. Express Mail International from the Postal Service. When you don't want to spend a bundle, we deliver for you. Call for a free information kit.
Monroe Sensatrack, road sensing shocks and struts. Designed to give you extra control during a swerve. Extra control over rough roads. Monroe Sensatrack gives you both extra control and ride comfort automatically. Monroe Sensatrack, like 2 shocks in 1. Call 1-800-STRUT now for a Monroe Sensatrack dealer near you.
Hey, what the heck does this mean? Very simply, it means for $12.99 down, you can lease a brand new Trooper for only $3.39 a month. And what about this convoluted muck? It means at the end of the lease, you can either buy your Trooper at a great price or walk away. And this It's an 800 number. And don't tell me you're watching TV without a pencil and paper. Hey, life's an adventure. Be prepared.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
The cowboy's business is a business of silence. 100 miles of fence gives a person time to think. To wonder about who he is, what the world is coming to. Talk to a cowboy long enough and you'll get an opinion on everything. That's because he's had time to think about everything. Yeah, at Wrangler, we know cowboys. Our genes were invented by them. That's why the West is in us. Wrangler, the Western original.
The final 15 minutes from Athens, Georgia, as the champ goes on from the home coach, Georgia Bulldogs. Tennessee on offense, second down at their own 42. Oh, what a head of steam by Stewart. You can see a headgear go flying up the field.
You want to be in the defensive line, watch the offensive line and defensive line collide and get the good blocks by Jeff Smith and Leslie Ratliff. Anytime you get movement back, you're succeeding. Georgia in the third quarter round had only 9 offensive plays to Tennessee's 20.
But yet they scored.
Big play.
That's right. Third, less than a yard. Helping with the quarterback sneak, and the crowd told you there as they just went silent, as they know now that Tennessee will continue to work the clock.
I like Todd Helton tonight. I think he's growing as a quarterback, and then Phil Fulmer seeing the experience is going to help him out of UCLA and here and early enough in the year that I think he could develop into a pretty good signal caller for Tennessee.
Here's another one that was really interesting in the interviews yesterday. Out of Trey. Hayden this time. Stays in bounds. Tight ropes, and the last thing he wanted to do was go out of bounds. You could see his head, his body lean going back toward the playing field. That's a gain of 16 yards.
Well, Leslie Ratliff that came around the corner there. Going to see the left tackle here, number 75. Watch him pull on the counter and get ahead of the running back, Aaron Hayden. Now, he weighs 305 pounds, and look how agile he is to make that block.
And he's working against a very good linebacker in Godfrey, and he took him out of the play. Found success, going to do it again, but it's not going to work. It's 51. Travis Jones steps up and just wrecks it all.
You know what happened, Ron? They tried to come back for the same play, and Travis Jones, he slid inside before they could even get to the corner. Real smart play by Travis Jones, 255-pound senior.
Loss of 3 yards. Second down, 13 to go for Tennessee.
About to go under 13 minutes to play, and Helton wants a timeout. So we'll take the break with him. 24-15, Tennessee leads. We'll be right back.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
We're talking about intentional grounding. In this play, the quarterback purposely grounds the pass to avoid loss of yardage. What is the penalty?
One fall, we took out our son's favorite sweater, and it didn't fit anymore. I think life insurance is like that. You don't realize how much your life has changed until you take out your policies and sit down with your agent. That's why we have the State Farm Family Insurance Checkup. I can help you see if your coverages are up to date, or if you've outgrown them. Then you make the decision. A policy has to fit, just like a sweater. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We're talking about intentional grounding. In this play, the quarterback grounds the pass to avoid loss of yardage. This is a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the pass and loss of down.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, hello, Mr. Umatsu. You know, your shipment is ready.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, sir. I just have a question about custom regulations for your country. Do I need an import license, a certificate of origin, 525V, or what?
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Could you hold?
All you got to do
Hello.
to simplify international shipping is use FedEx.
Mr. Umatsu? Yes, sir. I'm fine. We're all fine.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. And by Molson of Canada, a Canadian tradition since 1786.
Welcome back to Athens, Georgia. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Mike Adamle. Helton on the scramble. Not only going to have the first down, but he will have a couple beyond that.
A good defensive play called, but Todd Helton, the athlete, was able to turn a bad play into a good play.
Tennessee now with 56 rushes in the ball game. That's right, 56 for 309 yards. That is ball control personified. Hayden, you just keep giving them that 1-2 punch, and you see the offensive lineman there trying to help with the shove downfield. Derek Smith grabbed Hayden for Georgia. But again, it's a pickup of close to 7 yards. And Mike, the real difference is when Tennessee made this field a little more uneven, they started playing with more second and shorts rather than second and long.
And that's been the key all night for Tennessee, to control the line of scrimmage. When you win the line of scrimmage, you got an excellent chance of winning the football game. Georgia, on the other hand, has shown some big plays in the second half, so if their defense could hold here to get Eric Zeier back on that field, he's starting to click a little bit on some big plays.
Under 12 minutes to play in the ball game. Again, Hayden, you can see the block on the outside. Nice job of the fullback, but Robert Edwards comes up and cuts his feet out from under him. That was Phillips who threw that block.
You see the time that we kept on Eric Zeier on the field and the time off the field. I think that's been a big key in this ball game tonight. And that's what teams will try to do all year to Georgia. Try to control the ball on the ground.
11 and a half minutes left in this one. Don't forget, immediately following this one, we will send it to Tempe, Miami at Arizona State. Third game of our triple header. Hayden hit and dropped for a loss. It's Buster Owens.
Buster Owens beat the block of the wide receiver. They had a crackback block, but Buster Owens beat it. Number 3, you're going to see the crackback. The receiver is going to come in there. Number 87 couldn't block him. John Sartell, number 87, couldn't get to Buster Owens. He came underneath him to make the tackle. I'd say Georgia defense played a game. They're gaming a lot, trying to make everything happen on that side of the ball to take away this advantage of the offensive line.
Draw play out of the shotgun. Philip Daniels smells out the play. You could see the stick by him as he pushes the ball carrier Hayden back to the 20. They'll give him forward progress, actually inside the 15-yard line. So Mike, what do you do here? Just similar situation last quarter. They threw the football, they had it intercepted. Here you got Shore, for the most part, Shore field goal.
2 scores don't beat you. I'm going to throw the football here. I'm going to ask Todd Helton to pick me up the first down, throwing the football.
go with the run, and he falls down. Marcus Williams was right there, but Hayden just couldn't keep his footing. Went right out from under him.
They're going to take the field goal. I'm always leery of a guy like Eric Zeier. I mean, just like you have to be scared of him the whole game, because you made the point earlier, it's going to take a lot of points when you're at Georgia. I just have a little nervousness about him that he can bring you back in this ball game quickly.
Well, he gives you good reason to have concern. Bex for it will put this one down at the 23-yard line, a 33-yard attempt. Good pass, good hold, and plenty of distance there. So let's take a break. 9:11 left in the ball game, and our new score: Tennessee on top, 27-15.
What you doing down there?
Trying to cool off.
Yeah, the heat's unbearable, huh?
I was gonna hit the beach, but it's a zoo on weekends.
And parking can get really hairy.
You know, I could go for a nice cold beer.
Oh, hey, how'd you like to wrap your paws around a nice cold Molson?
Molson, hey, now you're talking.
Molson of Canada, because good friends deserve a great beer.
What you want to do tomorrow?
Hey, it's the weekend. Let's go scare some tourists.
If you and your wife are off to beautiful Kauai, Visa Gold's purchase power can pay for every romantic moment.
Hi, honey. Finally came down.
Not to mention a new pair of glasses.
I wanted to tell you how much I'm enjoying this second honeymoon. And that I loved you.
Thank you.
Because Jenkins Optical can make new glasses in an hour, but they won't take American Express.
Who's that?
Visa Gold.
I've never seen him before in my life.
I want to tell you about my home far away. My mother and father are there.
Strengthening the links of communications requires capital. In the last 3 years, Merrill Lynch raised over $50 billion for communications companies around the globe. We connect investors to opportunities and the people of the world to each other. For them, it makes a difference. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
Next Saturday night, Tennessee hosts the Florida Gators, and Wisconsin squares off with the Colorado Buffaloes starting at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN.
27-15, Tennessee leads. Mike, there are a couple of numbers that have just been handed to us that are just, wow. It's rushing plays. Tennessee 61 rushes to 10 for Georgia, and in total plays 73 for the Tennessee Volunteers. Now last week Georgia faced 91 snaps from center by their defense against South Carolina. That's just a long time to keep your defense on the field each week, isn't it?
Long time, but don't count out Eric Zeier with 9:11 to go.
German on the run. And he's going to be corralled inside the 20. And let's go down to Mike Adamle, and he is with the very interested Georgia party.
Well, Ron and Mike, the Zeier family extremely close, and Rick Zeier, Eric's dad, wouldn't miss a Bulldog game on a bet. Your impression so far?
Well, Georgia's having a tough time stopping the Tennessee running game. Obviously, that was Tennessee's plan when they came in. We need a couple breaks. We'll be right back in the ball game.
The whole business about Eric staying in school, not being available for the NFL draft, that was a collective family decision, was it not?
Well, Eric asked me to do a couple of things. I checked it out, but it was really Eric's decision. You know, I gave him the data he needed to make his decision, and he made it to stay.
You know, I know you have a special pregame ritual. You come to Athens every Thursday night and go to a little restaurant called the Palmas. Tell us about that special pregame meal.
Well, years ago in Germany, we started eating pasta 2 days before the game. And basically, we've just carried that ritual on through high school and college. It's basically a time Eric and I get to sit down and just make sure his mind's right. He's ready to play football and is not worried about too many extraneous things. So I come up every Thursday night before the game. And, well, De Palmas does a good job for us.
Calzone, pepperoni, ham, and mushrooms. Rick, thanks for joining us.
On the money to Boyd. Puts a head down, and he's going to wind up with another 5 yards there.
I noticed his dad had a cigar. I hope he hadn't lit it yet, like Red Auerbach. But one thing that you might mention about Eric Zires is he has an insurance policy of $1.5 million with Lloyd's of London, so they've got him protected if anything happens to him here at Georgia before he has the opportunity to go to the NFL.
Georgia back to the line of scrimmage. Hang on. We will be going to Mike Tirico again here real quickly. Get another update after this play. Lots of action going on this afternoon and also tonight. Eric swings this one out in the flat, and is that a lateral or not?
Yeah, that's very close to a lateral.
Right. Let's check with Mike now. Mike, what do you have?
Well, Ron, breathtaking finish in Southern California. SMU down 7 drives from its own 5. They were first and goal, but Donnie Edwards, the linebacker, a big sack. UCLA escapes, beating SMU by 7.
Well, Rick Zire down on the sideline. Very, very close with his son, as you could hear in that interview a moment ago with Mike Adamle. And Thursday night is very important here. Pass complete, knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
Talk about superstitious.
Mike, let me show you a play here. Just 2 plays ago. I think this was a lateral. Nobody went after it, and the officials called. His foot is on the yard line. Watch where he's going to throw it. That's a lateral. It's not a forward pass. Probably won't have a bearing, but anyway. 27-15. Just over 8 minutes left in this ball game. Pass incomplete on 3rd down.
Late flag.
Yep. Well, now maybe that play might have a bearing.
That'll be a first down.
Yep.
We have offensive pass interference.
The other way. I think Ray Goff wants an explanation on that.
I think all of a sudden his stomach had quieted for a moment because he thought for sure that was going to go against Tennessee. They would move the chains, pick up the first down.
It wasn't a catchable football. It's interesting call.
We have offensive pass interference, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, and loss of down.
Well, that's a tough loss there. Loss of down, too. Oh, it's way over the head of the receiver. We'll have to see what he did here. Jeff Thomas, number 8. We believe it's on him. See if we can pick him up. Just see the end of it. Ronald Davis, number 1, in a collision. So that's the call, Ron.
I think they were calling Jeff Thomas for the push-off down there, Mike. Hillock with the punt, and the fair catch called for at the 28. Well, don't forget, coming up next, number 6 ranked Miami in Tempe against Arizona State. The Miami Hurricanes trying to get this season off to a 2-0 start, but a hostile ground where they have not been overly fortunate in that Fiesta Bowl.
You and I kind of disagree then, right? You like Miami to win easily?
I don't know. I didn't say easily.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. Go ahead.
Well,
what do
please don't.
Well, what do you,
I think Miami will win, though, yes.
Okay,
win by a
close touchdown. I think it's going to be a real close football game. I think Arizona State will push.
I think Miami loves the situation they're in, Mike. I think they love the situation they're in because everybody's talking about everybody else. Florida State and Florida and Michigan and Nebraska. I think they like that situation. James Stewart, there's some strength and balance as he swings away from the tackler, and now he may take it all the way. Foot race, 10-5, touchdown. 71 yards.
Marion Campbell talked about it. First contact, you don't bring down James Stewart. You don't wrap him up.
head in the water at the line of scrimmage, spun it around, came out of the tackle, and then nobody was down the sideline, and the race was on.
Ron, you never know about a team when they lose a game, how they're going to respond. But Tennessee certainly has responded positively tonight.
Bexford with the extra point is good, and we'll take a break. 7:44 left in the ball game, and now all of a sudden Tennessee opens up an 18-point lead.
Students, leasing a car is a poor investment, right? Wrong, you nincompoops. Now watch carefully. At Saturn of Route 23 and Saturn of Ramsey, lease a 95 Saturn Sports Coupe. And here is the best part. For just $185 a month, you get stereo cassette, air conditioning, power steering, and dual airbags. What do we do with the money we save?
Have a party?
Jawohl! In Europe! Saturn of Route 23 and Saturn of Ramsey.
Do you know where to go for an award-winning dealership? Book Chevrolet Geo Buick in Nutley. We have been honored with a Customer Service Award for Excellence and rated in the top 30 of the 600 dealers in the Northeast. Come to us for great deals on the 1994 Chevrolets and Buicks. We have a newly expanded parts department, ASE certified mechanics, and specialists in collision repairs. Expect to get more for less at Book Chevrolet Geo Buick, 66 Washington Avenue, Nutley, New Jersey.
Welcome to NFL Game Day.
The formula is this for success. Now it's just a question of winning.
NFL Game Day, tomorrow at noon on ESPN.
Need we say more?
Warren Sapp and the Miami Hurricanes getting ready to chase after Jake the Snake. Jake Plummer, the Arizona State quarterback. Kickoff in 24 minutes. Back between the hedges.
Well, back between the hedges, the guy they call Little Man has come up extremely big for the Tennessee Volunteers tonight. It's a good look at him on the bench. Time to celebrate for him, like 23 carries, 196 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And look at that average per carry with that run. Wow. Bexford's kick. German. Saw a hole for a moment in the middle, then it closed up, and he'll be stopped at the 23-yard line.
Billy Williams, first of all, will make a crackback block on the outside to start this play off. 58, Frank Watts. There's the crackback. Now, 58 has a chance to make the tackle. Frank Watts doesn't make the tackle. Now, remember the crackback block. Now, James Stewart, after he avoids this tackle, there's the crackback block. You'll see it. Now he's outside. There's no one outside. Turns the corner after the missed tackle by Corey Johnson, and it's home run time.
Zaire is just going to throw this one away. Too much pressure. He got decked at the 10-yard line, and that, by the way, is only the 5th offensive play for Georgia this quarter.
And that's Ben Talley, the good linebacker for Tennessee, putting pressure. They put him down on several snaps where he could work against the defensive lineman. Even though they have not been able to sack Eric Zaire, they've hit him tonight. Same way with South Carolina last week. Hit him just as he threw the football, so he took some punishment.
Rolls the pocket, throws it complete. Bryce Hunter at the 32-yard line. Offensive plays this half over double. Tennessee with 33, Georgia with 14. This one complete. Good move at the 38-yard line. Juan Daniels, who had the long touchdown run last quarter, takes makes it inside the 45 to the 43.
When you have trouble running the football, every third down becomes a pass situation just to try to pick it up and get the chains moving. Juan Daniels, number 12. No huddle by Eric Zeier, trying to use much clock as they get the ball snapped before the clock ticks away.
This time to the far side, got it to Jeff Thomas. Raymond Austin makes the play defensively. Reminding you again, if you just joined us, 6:20 left in our game, 34 to 15 Tennessee. And immediately following this one, we'll head out to Tempe, Miami at Arizona State.
On the statistics there telling Tennessee 62 rushing attempts, 360. Georgia 10 attempts, 53 yards rushing. Wow. Talk about a difference. There is a difference.
Timeout. Yeah, that offensive line looked kind of glum. I guess it's because they're tired. They ought to have some smiles over there.
There are many cars built safe enough, luxurious enough, and powerful enough to let you drive to the ends of the earth. But only one that makes you want to take the trip. Presenting the BMW 5 Series.
Hi, may I help you?
Yeah, I need some shorts to play basketball.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Full court or half court?
Half, I guess.
Pick up our plan. Shirts or skins?
Excuse me?
Day or night, home or away, team or one-on-one?
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. The activewear that's right for however you play. Discus Athletic. The way America plays.
Horse or pig?
You're watching the Coors Light channel.
Up next, it's Coors Light Sports. Then, Joe buys a flannel on a very special Joe the Slacker. But first, these messages.
What do you think of Coors Light?
Never drank a glass of beer in my life.
Coors Light, the most popular beer in the world.
Introducing Coors Light trading cards, featuring the Coors employees you know and love. Not available in stores.
The Coors Light channel. Always on.
6:20 left in this one with Tennessee with a big lead. And Mike, here's a question for you. When Tennessee comes back on offense, what do they do? Do you put in one of the freshman quarterbacks?
Well, they've already spent some time with him out of UCLA, so I would think unless Georgia scores here, you bring one of the freshmen in, give him a little experience here in the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Zeier lobs it for the end zone. Caught, yes, just inside the 5-yard line is Juan Daniels. 23 yards on the completion.
Not so fast on the freshman quarterbacks. This is what I call a go switch route. The outside receiver goes inside. The inside receiver fakes like he's running out, and then he runs a switch route up the field. Juan Daniels, number 12, who's made some pretty good catches tonight for Georgia. Trying to get the defenders to exchange responsibility on that pattern. Georgia still has all 3 timeouts, Ron. 6:06 left. We're going to spin one.
Mike Tirico, let's check in with you during this timeout then.
Well, Ron, we talked about Georgia playing at South Carolina last week. South Carolina's defense, as Arkansas is knocking on the door, forces a fumble. Marius Johnson gave it up. Hank Campbell recovered it. Part of the shutout as Brad Scott gets win 1 as coach of the Gamecocks.
That's what's ahead for this guy. And then I know he doesn't want to look ahead, but then 2 weeks from tonight, or 2 weeks from today, he's got to be in Starkville, Mississippi to take on Mississippi State. That's not going to be very easy as well. And of course, the one next Saturday night we will have live from Knoxville.
That will be an interesting game next Saturday night. Again, what Tennessee will try to do is control the game with the run. Steve Spurrier's offense has a little bit more balance to it than Georgia's.
Hit at the line of scrimmage. Hines Ward will not get into the end zone. First man off the stack is Ben Talley. Burton was there, and also Jesse Sanders.
Ron, I went watch Florida practice a couple weeks ago. Kevin Carter, defensive end, remember his name. I think he's going to be one of the better defensive linemen in the country. Consider him and Warren Sapp probably the two favorites to win those lineman awards at the end of the season.
Flag goes down. They score on the play. Hines Ward takes it in, and let's see who the infraction is against.
Yeah, offside. On the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Larry Brody with a 1-yard touchdown run.
So Bowie scores the touchdown at Tennessee with the player shaken up. Leland Taylor, I believe, is the man who was injured.
Yeah, you have to think now Georgia onside kick. So Tennessee on the sidelines, you get your hands team ready. After this 2-point play, down by 13 now, Georgia.
Helton very loose on the sideline. Back to the matter at hand. 34-21. Georgia going for the 2-point conversion. Hunter in motion. Who's going to? It is no, check it. It's Bowie who got it. Good for the 2 points, and it's 34-23.
Now, Ron, you're down by 11 with 5:32. You've got to onside kick here. Tennessee will expect it, but you've got to execute it, get that ball back for Eric Zeier. Well, that ball was thrown right on the money to Larry Bowie, and that was covered very well.
You know, one of the things that I believe about Helton, he is a very loose individual. As you see his numbers, Mike, I think because he knows that his bread and butter is going to come from baseball, he is very good at both. But I think it takes some of the onus off him, some of the pressure off him, if you will, because baseball is a sport. But he plays this sport so very well. But yet, it's not the only thing in his life.
Well, it's a good point, and I said it earlier. All he's doing right now, because when it comes to bargaining time next year with those baseball people, he's going to say, hey, I can be the starting quarterback of Tennessee. I don't need this. He has just upped his salary as a baseball #1 pick.
There's Peyton Manning, the freshman out of New Orleans, and of course always very close to his side is #6 Brandon Stewart, who is a freshman from Stephenville, Texas. Both played a couple of series last week out in the Rose Bowl against UCLA. Here's the onside kick. The hands team is there, and they will field it. Joey Kent makes the recovery. Mike Adamle, what do you have?
Well, Mike and Ron, I think you hit it right on the head as far as Todd Helton is concerned. No matter how far he takes the Volunteers this season, it's pretty clear that Peyton Manning and Brandon Stewart are the quarterbacks of the future. So who is exactly #2? Well, Coach Fulmer told us, sort of.
Well, I think they'll make that decision as the season goes on. One will separate himself from the other, and even if it happens, that job will be won for the 1995 season in spring practice and summer and 2-a-days of next year. You know, what happens now might mean something from high school, you know, they're just a little bit further ahead or background or whatever. But I think that job will be won next year.
Well, and now Helton is going to have to call a timeout as the 25-second clock had wound down. So we'll take a break. 5:32 left in this one. Tennessee 34, Georgia 23.
300 acres in Montana, around $500,000. The Bic lighter, around 79 cents. What do they have in common? They're both worth every penny.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Want a taste you can't turn back? Trying to Pringles double stack. Double stack vacuum pack. You got to like that. Take the space out of Big Bangs. Don't look so big. That's a drag. And they got pieces of those increases. Pringles double chips, you bet. 2 full stacks is what you get. Get the Pringles double stack of chips. Doubly, 100 cents. Yeah! Once you pop, you can't stop.
Philip Fulmer stands on the sideline looking on to his offense, and it is a first down as Helton had to call a timeout. We'll talk more about the decisions on the young quarterbacks after this play. Deep set, and Hayden hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces outside, and boy, they get a second effort out of these tailbacks, I'll tell you. Let's talk. David Cutcliffe is the offensive coordinator and is the quarterback coach. There's David right there. And Mike, the question that I had for Philip Fulmer and also have for David is, what if they don't separate themselves? Because do you have enough reps to go around for 2 more quarterbacks? Normally, number 2 gets a few reps, but number 3 gets almost none.
Well, you're exactly right, Ronnie. And you got to throw another variable into this equation. Jerry Colquitt's coming back. So now you got a third guy. But where it really hurts them as you see Jerry up there is they're not going to be able to recruit a quarterback. I mean, that problem is all good quarterbacks are going to say, hey, you got all that talent there.
Helton rolls it, has it complete, being ridden out of bounds is Mose Phillips.
But being the good recruiters that they are, they will find a quarterback, and they will sign a quarterback, and you never have enough.
This university, Tennessee, has won that mythical recruiting title the last 2 years, not just this past year.
They're an excellent recruiting staff, a good coaching staff. I think the game plans tonight by David Cutcliffe, Phil Fulmer, Larry Marley were executed by their football team. Georgia, I think they did what they wanted to do offensively, and defensively gave a great effort. Just ran out of bodies.
Hayden bounces outside, not going to have the first down, and Robert Edwards helps on 2 points. He stops the clock and also makes the tackle short of the yardage.
When you have a new defensive coordinator, Marion Campbell has been able, as you said, give the team confidence. They will get better every week. Installing a new defense is tough sometimes, but you'll see this team give good effort. They still don't feel like they're out of this game with Eric Zeier. They're still only down by 11. They have 2 timeouts left, 4:36. If they can strike quick, onside kick. I mean, they're 2 touchdowns away from still beating this team, so they're not going to give up.
Hutton again with the high punt, and they're not going to be able to get this one. It'll go into the end zone.
Tennessee's remaining schedule, they've got Florida at home at Mississippi State, the game you think is going to be very treacherous for them. Washington State, Arkansas, and that big rivalry on the 15th with Alabama. At South Carolina, I like that game there, November 5th, open. You never can lose that one. Memphis, Kentucky, and at Vanderbilt. Pretty good schedule once they get by this first 4.
It's a demon early, though. In the middle's pretty tough as well. Zeier drills it complete at the 21-yard line. Jeff Thomas is there as Ronald Davis will wrap him up. Don't forget, coming up next now, Miami at Arizona State. As soon as we're done here between the hedges. You know, Deron Jenkins going out with that injury in the first half has caused Larry Marmie to make a lot of changes in that secondary, Mike, and they're playing young people there that don't have a lot of playing time.
And it kept him from some of his defenses because you lose a little depth there. Incomplete pass, but you lose a little depth when you lose one, and sometimes it takes you out of your packages. You see the defensive back standing back here. They never go into the huddle for Tennessee because they knew they were going to get a lot of passes against them tonight. They just line up across the field, get the call. Linebacker gives them the call, then they give it to each other with a signal. You see, they never go in the huddle, saving some steps. Trying to save themselves for the dance when they get home.
3:52 left. This one off the board. Ball is loose and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Jason Parker.
Ball finally recovered.
Turnover by the Bulldogs. congratulations on the sideline.
Ron Larry Marmie there in the middle. The defensive coordinator has to feel great about his game plan and the effort out of his defense, because they were able to work against Eric Zeier, make him go the length of the field, force some mistakes, and the game plans both on offense and defense tonight for Tennessee really were played out by the players.
Well, next week,
nice job.
We will hear Rocky Top a lot, because we will be in Knoxville as the Florida Gators come calling. Florida on quite a roll, and this is a team that Steve Spurrier hasn't beaten since he's been the head man down in Florida. Mo Phillips spins off the tackle. He'll take it to the 15.
You're talking about Steve Spurrier not having beaten Tennessee. Will the new grass play a factor in your mind?
No.
They still have had a tough time to slow down that both teams a little bit on that grass.
I don't think it is. I know Lee Corso thinks it will, but they're going there to play, not graze. And I don't think the grass will make a bit of difference.
People tried to graze on that AstroTurf, but it hadn't worked.
Clock is running, about to go under 2:20 left in this one. 34-23. Volunteers. Touchdown, Tennessee, as James Stewart gets his 4th of the night.
Stewart may be your player of the game, but I tell you what, they better get some footballs to that offensive line. Tennessee with some great effort out of their blockers tonight.
Bexford knocks home the extra point.
What's up, baby? What's up, Mama?
Big offensive line, starting with Bubba Miller, the center, number 71. You see that hole? Some missed tackles on James Stewart. He breaks tackles and stretches out for the touchdown. Another look behind Todd Help. See that big line wall off. An impressive ground game tonight for Tennessee.
What's up, Mama? What's up, all my boys back home?
Zeier paces on the sideline, and now his team hopelessly down by 18 points with 2:10 left. This, by the way, is going to tie a modern-day individual game record of 4 touchdowns by James Stewart. Let's see, Billy, who do we have here?
I love you, Mama J. All my sisters, all my boys, Lamont, Shelby, Rip, all of you. I love y'all.
Last person to do it, Thompson against Vanderbilt in 1990. And it was 11 years earlier than that. Simpson had 4 against Notre Dame. Out across the 35-yard line is Hines Ward. Well, tonight's Visa players of the game are, for the Tennessee Volunteers, James Stewart. 25 rushes, 217 yards, almost 9 yards a carry, and 4 touchdowns. And for Georgia, it is Eric Zeier. 29 of 44, 382 passing, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. As part of their continued effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of these athletes. Zeier complete over the middle to a streaking Jeff Thomas, loses the football, and it appears Tennessee has recovered. Yes, they have. So, Mike, the misery continues for Georgia, and I think that defense just finally wore out. Missed tackles, a couple of sloppy plays offensively that they have turned the football over, and Eric Zeier very frustrated. But This is a good Tennessee football team that just took the game plan to the T, exactly what they wanted to do. That was rush the football.
They set the tempo of the game.
Zier, by the way, with that completed pass, went over 400 yards on the night, but it was simply not enough, and we are now under 2 minutes. So 41-23, Tennessee leading this one, and let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike.
Okay, Ron, thank you. With the outcome, obviously not a question there. We'll bring you the final as soon as it's over with Tennessee at Georgia, but we want you to see the start of Miami, Arizona State, the second end of our nighttime doubleheader to Gary Danielson, Adrian Karsten, and Brad Nessler. Brad.
All right, Mike, Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona.
This is a presentation of CNN Sports.
Coming up on CNN Sports, a classic confrontation in South Bend where not all the curves went the Irish way in an early season stumble. It was a day which left the Cardinals kicking itself, Bama rising to the occasion, the Dogs dropping the ball. We've got Air McNair, Danny Cannell taking to the air, while Rock felt much more grounded. Hey, so did the coach. In tennis, a hard-fought ladies final where a fiery Spaniard stole the show. On the men's side, Andre took a courteous approach to the semis. We are raring to make an entrance with CNN Sports next.
And welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Larry Smith.
And I'm Nancy Newman. Thank you for joining us on this very busy college football Saturday. And you know, another wonderful comeback at Notre Dame, but not quite the way the Irish would have wrote it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was an outstanding game and definitely a nail-biter. More on that in just a moment. A few early season matchups get the nation's attention the way Michigan and Notre Dame can. After all, the Wolverines and Irish rank 1 and 2 in all-time victories in college football. Last week, prize Irish recruit Ron Paulus made a sparkling debut against Northwestern. Today, the sophomore played in South Bend for the first time, trying to declaw a much more tougher opponent in the Wolverines, who have won only one of the last 7 meetings coming into this one. Both teams entering Notre Dame Stadium. 7-3 Michigan when Paulus, the great patience here for a kid, hits Lee Becton for the 1-yard score. Gary Moeller not very happy. His team down 10-7, but Becton hadn't fumbled since the third game of the '93 season. 2 of them today. The second one here recovered by Trevor Price in the third quarter. Later in the fourth, 23-17 Michigan, first and goal, and Paulus. Look at the great catch by Derek Mays to put the Irish up 24-23. Time winding down, though, and Michigan has a chance. Todd Collins. Will he be sacked? No. Gets it away to Seth Smith, and look at him. Dive out of bounds with 7 seconds to go at the 25-yard line of Notre Dame. Both teams asking for a little divine intervention in the shadow of touchdown Jesus. Remy Hamilton will split the uprights and give the Wolverines the comeback 26-24 win. And by the way, we did a check, and it's true. Nobody leaving Notre Dame Stadium had any fingernails left. But Michigan leads with their first triumph there since 1986 as the luck of the Irish runs out. Time and time again, they've rallied to beat the Wolves, but Hamilton's 4th field goal on the day ends the comeback jinx.
First of all, I'd like to give a lot of credit to my teammates for putting me in the position where they were. They were out there doing all the hard work. It's my job just to come in and do what I did. I was just hoping it would be a good snap and good hold, which it was, and I'd concentrate on the spot and keep my head down and follow through.
But am I happy? Yes. I guess I'm more satisfied. But I know one thing. We got a long way to go. We have a long way to go.
For us, and it hurts, and it'll hurt for a while. But let's learn from it, and let's move on.
Move on we will. Michigan is just 2-5-1 against the Irish since 1987, but the series takes a reprieve as they won't meet it again until 1997. The rest of today's top 25 action coming up a bit later in the show. Nancy? The Gridiron as Rose Bowl hopefuls clashed in State College, Pennsylvania. Penn State played USC in the Rose Bowl 71 years ago, and the Lions have a chance to return to Pasadena in their second season in the Big Ten. 96,000 plus at Beaver Stadium, just shy of a school record. Watch Kijana Carter take the handoff. 32 yards for the first score of the game, 7-0 Nittany Lions. Then the Trojans turn the ball over, leading to this. Kerry Collins, the senior, going up top. Freddie Scott outleaps the USC defender and then just prances into the end zone. 14-0, and John Robinson, oh, it's going to be a bad day, isn't it? Collins, this time looking up for Bobby Ingram, and he has him. The great pattern 19-yard score, and the route is on. 35-0 Penn State. At the break, they go on to win 38-14. Penn State showing off some unprecedented diversity on offense. 5 different players scoring touchdowns. The Lions have outscored their first 2 opponents 94-17. Another Big Ten, Pac-10 clash in Seattle. The Buckeyes without Joey Galloway, suspended for 1 game. But on offense for Washington, it was Napoleon McCallum breaking through the huge opening, 38 yards, and the Huskies up 7-0. The faithful at Husky Stadium, they are liking it. Same quarter, Damon Hewer now through the air to Eric Bjornsson. 25-yard play. The Huskies up 22-0 at the half, and they hang on for the 25-16 win. Napoleon